Owning a restaurant was these people's dream.
We'd always said, we'll start a restaurant.
Some invested everything.
We put 50,000 into the business.
Busting their guts to make it work.
Priority is to pay my staff. I do have sleepless nights.
But it's a ruthless business.
4-minute steaks for table 5. It's an element of survival.
We've just been living off credit cards.
I can't pay my bills.
I'm so completely consumed.
I've seen him in tears, I've seen him not be able to eat. It's business or marriage.
And with so many big brands crowding the high street, the pressure is greater than ever.
I don't know how we're going to cope.
I'm Alex Polizzi.
Hello, hello.
Having set up and managed successful restaurants around the world,
Let's get on with it then.
Yeah.
I want to try and help struggling owners sort out theirs. You want to entice people in.
It's too big because that slows down service, doesn't it?
It does.
It'll be practical to have it here and it will separate off the room a bit.
You obviously struggle with customers at lunchtime.
God, yeah.
We're going to have to unpick this. It won't be easy.
No, mate, no. I think it's the nerves that are getting the better of me.
But if I can bring some inspiration,
Why don't you do an offer and say, subscribe to the supper club?
and they some hard work and determination,
Chicken tikka, 1 puri. Excited to get it to work for us. There you go.
It feels a lot more curated as a menu. It's amazing.
can I turn things around and leave them a lasting legacy?
Look at this.
Are you happy?
Absolutely.
This is what a restaurant should be like. I love it.
I'm seeing what we could do and be more positive about it. Check.
The restaurant feels it's got a brighter future.
I love it when a plan comes together. This time, I'm going back to my roots to help an ailing Italian eatery in Bedford.
Rebella Restaurant, can I help you at all? Grazie, arrivederci, ciao, ci vediamo, alla prossima, ciao.
2 years ago, Giovanni Orlandi convinced his reluctant wife Amanda they should gamble their future taking over a 70-cover restaurant.
It's all his idea. I did put my input in, but I've backed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had the restaurant from the 24th of December 2015, so there was a baptism of fire on that day.
Are you ready to order or shall I put back? I've never done waitressing, I've never even worked behind a bar, so this is all totally new to me.
We're not restaurateurs by trade by any stretch of the imagination.
Bedford is home to over 10,000 Italians, so you would think that there was a lovely captive audience there. However, there are also 40 Italian restaurants in Bedford, so the competition is pretty stiff.
And Rio Bello isn't managing to stand out from the crowd.
We're going for a more traditional vibe. What we're trying to do here is be authentic because I wanted it a bit more upper class in terms of the way it's cooked, the way it's presented. I don't know whether our name helps sometimes or there's something against us. My wisdom said, well, people know the name, let's keep it the same.
But maybe in hindsight, we probably should have changed it and relaunched, really.
Yeah.
Despite working 6 days a week, Giovanni has yet to make a penny of profit, and his dream has become a nightmare of dwindling trade and escalating debt.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was bleak. We only had 4 customers in all night, so we ended up cleaning kitchen, just waiting for customers to come in.
We're just not making money. I mean, we need to make money to live.
Just when you think, we're making a little bit of headway, bang, you get knocked back down again. All our savings and even the little bit put aside has gone. You know, all our money.
It is, yeah. What worries me more is how you are now. Because you're normally such a positive person, and you're not anymore. He doesn't even want to come into work anymore. You also carry the guilt that you've put us in this position.
I do.
It has been getting harder for me not to resent the fact that you've put us in this position.
I know that.
We cannot go on the way we're going on.
With a restaurant and a relationship at risk, this is going to be a big challenge.
Hi.
Hello, ciao Alex.
Piacere mio.
Grazie.
Sono felice di essere qui.
Anch'io, grazie. Molto contento.
So, What was the dream, I suppose? What made you take this place on?
The dream was always to have an Italian restaurant. For my sins, you know, something that I was passionate about. I love cooking, love food.
What does Amanda think of this whole project?
She's backed me 100%. She's helped me as much as she can, but I think it's got to a stage where she's a bit tired.
Had enough?
Had enough, because we're working for nothing.
And she's probably just nervous about what the future holds. OK, let me have a look around. May I?
Yes, certainly.
Thank you. How many covers are there in the restaurant?
We can seat 70 comfortably.
And when's the last time you did 70?
I haven't, not for a long time.
Do you get any lunchtime business?
Sometimes, not very often.
So in the last 2 weeks, how many covers have you done over lunch?
Last 2 weeks?
Just ballpark, I'm not expecting you to
7.
get... Gosh.
If that.
So nothing, really nothing.
2 were yesterday, so...
All right, before we go any further, can I have a coffee?
I would love to make you a coffee.
I think I need something to stiffen the spine.
Proper Italian coffee.
Yes, please.
All right. How are you? All right.
This is Alex. Alex, this is Amanda,
So
my wife.
nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in to talk to me. That's okay. I think we should all go and sit down.
I know this was Giovanni's dream, but we're all going to have to work together if we want to turn things around.
He has said to me that you have been 100% supportive. Do you still feel like that?
I do, but I'm tired and I'm stressed.
Is it the fact of the restaurant and the different hours and the lifestyle and thing, or is it just the money thing?
No, it's everything. It's not just the money. It's everything. I just look at Gio and he's stressed all the time to the extent that he will shake with being stressed all the time. And it worries me. We can't go on the way we're going because he's changed. Our marriage has changed, our life has changed, everything's changed, and not for the better. And it's sad.
Very sad. OK, so I understand that the changes need to be made. If they're not made, what next?
From my point of view, it's either the restaurant or our marriage. I know that's really harsh.
That's tough.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's been the hardest time that we've been together these last 2 years, because I know you've hidden a few bits from me, i.e. the credit card debt. I didn't know that about that till about 3 weeks ago, probably. And I know he didn't tell me because he was worried, and I know he feels the guilt because it was his dream, he put us into it.
Saved by the bell.
So are you cross with him?
I go from being cross to being upset for him because I know he's stressed, and I know I don't want to be cross with him and I don't want to resent him.
I think you've got to start making some tough decisions, and you've got to start making them now. Clawing back a bit of time and a bit of family life is something you can do straight away. Because obviously, you know, this relationship needs a bit of time and attention.
Yeah.
OK.
Years after opening Rio Bello in Bedford, Giovanni and Amanda Orlandi are struggling to juggle their business and their relationship.
It's got to a stage now, it's business or marriage. This is the way it's going, because we cannot go on the way we're going on.
The restaurant has never made a profit, and a glance at their menu tells me their work-life balance isn't the only thing that needs to be better defined.
What would you say you specialise in? Because I've got no idea from looking at this.
Yeah. Specialise in pizzas, pastas, steaks, fish. And there's some dishes in there that one night we'll be selling loads of, and next night, nothing. And I'll give you a prime example on the back.
Oh my God, sugar. Didn't realise there was a bag.
It's a fairly extensive menu. It's too big.
It's too big, because also that slows down the service, doesn't it?
It does.
Of it. Chefs trying to do too many things all at once.
It won't just be heaping on the pressure when the kitchen's busy. It means more costly ingredients to bin when it isn't. No wonder he's losing money.
I think I'll do a margherita.
A margherita?
Yeah, that's the real test of a pizza,
OK, we'll get one margherita for you.
A lot of comments on your TripAdvisor review is about the huge portion sizes.
Yeah. It's the Italian mentality of putting lots on
I know, but then
you
don't sell any desserts, and you don't sell an affogato, and then you don't sell the contorni, and then, you know, I mean, it all has a knock-on
effect. Yeah.
Food waste costs UK restaurants £682 million a year, nearly £1 for every meal served. Those generous portions could be a sign of a bigger problem.
Are you good on the figures?
I'd like to think I'm pretty good.
But are you? Are you on top of costings and expenditure and all of that malarkey?
As much as possible.
And that's one of the main things that restaurants fall down on.
More worrying, though, if Giovanni can't identify what his restaurant specialises in, how are diners supposed to know why they should come here?
I have to admit, that is a good pizza. It's good.
With over 10,000 people in Bedford of Italian descent, there's a large potential market for Riobello right on the doorstep.
People tend to move where their communities are, so you tend to find concentrations of a particular nationality. It means that there's usually a very vibrant food scene from that community, but it also means there's a lot of competition.
For the past 20 years, cafe owner Libby has been serving many of the Italian community at his cafe in St Paul's Square.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Alex.
Liberato, Libby.
Libby,
Hi, nice to meet you.
hi. Very nice to meet you. Italian, right?
Of course, yes, yes.
So what restaurant do you go to?
I don't know if you've been to Sant'Agnello, which is a pizzeria, which is one of the original sort of places that's opened up. Still got the oven with the wood inside, it's checkered tablecloths, everybody sits in benches. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of them places, you know, you just have pizza there. It's a lovely place. It's a nicer place.
That's the trick to everything in life. It has to be bloody good, because we've all got so much choice these days. So if it's not good, people vote with their feet and they go somewhere else.
I'll take for both of you. $3.50. Special price for you.
Bye. See you next time.
We need to get Riobello on the radar of the Italian community, but there's a lot to tackle, starting with refining the large, unfocused menu.
Thank you very much. In a crowded marketplace, you have to stand for something. Is it a pasta and a pizza place? Is it somewhere that you go to get a really good risotto and really good meat? I want to feel sure that you know what it is that you're offering. And also, why would someone come to you rather than one of the other 39 restaurants in this place? You need to look at your opening hours, because I think you're killing yourself for nothing. I mean, how many people came in today? 6 for lunch? Look at the figures. And you'll quickly realise what days it's worth staying open and what days it isn't. You have to see that as you reclaiming your life and actually having time then to sit down with a marker and write yourself some lists.
It makes sense, yeah, because I found myself working too much on the business, not in the business, and rather the other way around. But it's taking up too much of my time, and I haven't got the time to focus on the menu, the costings.
You know, it's all basic stuff, but you can't just hope you're going to open a restaurant and it's going to work. You've got to get the offering right and you've got to get the costs right. It's not enough to have a dream. It has to be built on really firm foundations.
The only way of competing is A, give soul, and B, give a point of difference, and C, make it clear that this is an act of love. Ultimately.
What makes us different from all the other restaurants, that's going to be the challenge, big time.
Defining Riobello's unique selling point among the sea of competition won't be easy. So to help, I've called in renowned restaurateur Oliver Peyton. He's my brother-in-law and I trust him implicitly.
As you see, we have 40 restaurants here in Bedford, Italian restaurants, all serving more or less the same stuff. I don't think it's clear how he's standing out in any way, shape or form. I mean, you literally are faced with a menu and you just think, well, what is it that's going to be half decent here?
The thing about a menu like this is when you look at it, you just don't trust it, do you, straight away? There's too much happening to trust it. People want something much more focused.
I completely agree. I think we'll get some Italians to come and eat, see what they think of the quality of the food. Get some feedback, yeah?
Yep.
While Oliver goes in search of some gastronomic guinea pigs.
Hello, do you mind me interrupting? No. Can I just ask you, do you like Italian food? Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, you're right.
I'm looking for some people to come and try Italian food. You're all Italians, right?
Yeah, we're all Italian.
I head to Riobello to deliver our plan.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Alex. How are you?
When I was here last time, it was quite quiet at lunchtime.
It was.
And I'm really keen to see how it works. I've organised for a whole load of people to come and try out the food.
Okay.
I'd like to see what kind of things they choose.
Right.
I have reached out to the Italian community.
Interesting.
Our challenge aims to give us valuable feedback on the size and quality of Riobello's menu from some potential customers. It will also be a chance for us to scrutinise the restaurant when it's busy.
Darling, Oliver knows so much about food,
yeah.
And so we've partnered up on this.
Okay.
Because I think, you know, we've got quite a big challenge.
Yes.
We don't have very long to do it.
Yes.
And with his guidance, I'm sure we'll get there much quicker.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Oliver, as well.
With the restaurant filling up, the first challenge is taking the orders.
OK, so I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of your host, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a minute.
I'll pop back in a minute for your drinks. Have a look at that, OK?
Easier said than done.
Try, well, something testing, because there's also, of course, all the stuff on this side.
Oh, wow, sorry. That's only volume 1.
With mains costing between £8 and £22, there's a baffling array of 80 dishes.
It's a big menu.
Very, very big.
Too much of a choice.
Signora?
Scaloppine?
Scaloppino?
I'll have the
Salsiccia.
Okay. And then I'll have the linguine.
Offering more choice might seem like a way to attract more customers, but it puts the chefs under pressure and it can end up leaving everyone confused.
What did you think of the menu, Oliver?
Way too much to digest. You know, it's just not clear. It lacks any personality. I think it's very interesting to listen to everyone here, you know. I think there's obviously a few places that are excelling, you know, where the owner is really large and in charge, is part of the community. You know, no one knows who the owners are here.
The decision not to change the restaurant's name or relaunch when they took over has left it invisible to the people who should be its core trade. Right now, though, we have a more pressing problem.
I'm feeling quite stressed out at the moment because I think the food's coming out quite slowly, considering. I mean, there is only 14 people here.
Offering so many different menu options can make it impossible for the chefs in the kitchen to deliver a consistently high standard of food and on time.
What was your order?
It's the gabardino fatto.
Would you like to try those?
Just piles of food. It's just not thought out in any way, you know.
I want Amanda and Giovanni to sit down and eat the food. Sit down and you order off the menu, and I'd like you to try the food again.
Grazie. That's not the way it's done. Like, I don't give two monkeys. It should have the sauce on the side, it should have tomatoes, it should have cucumber. It should be a bit more decorative as well.
Under pressure from the huge menu, the whole Riobello dining experience is suffering.
I think they've got 19, 20 different pastas. It's ridiculous. You don't need that many. Too much of a choice. And it's probably hard for the kitchen to keep up with that choice.
I've got 3,000 clients. I could say, yeah, go to Riobello's, they're brilliant, but if I do that, they're going to come back to me and say next day, hey, what happened to that Italian restaurant that was supposed to be good?
There has to be a change made quite quickly here, because honestly, the food going out was not brilliant. I winced, let's put it that way.
The last thing we want to do is crush Giovanni's dream, but we do have to encourage him to have a major rethink.
You've 2 years, you've done quite a lot of things wrong. You admit that yourself, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Got to take you back to basics, and we've got to get the foundations in that you can then build on. Yeah?
I mean, that menu, you just got to throw it out. Let's use fresher ingredients in a simpler manner, and let us structure a menu so the chef can deliver it for service.
You need to do less and you need to do it better.
This is not just about the food. None of the locals know you exist.
And the only chance of you surviving is you becoming one of those local hub Italian restaurants.
That's going to take a monumental effort from all of us, Amanda included.
I think the hard thing is that do you have it in you to do it? I mean, if actually the idea just makes you want to leave him and run away and get him to rent a bedsit somewhere and be gone with you, because there's no point pretending that it's going to be easy, because it's not, because you're here and you're nowhere.
Yeah.
This is not something where we wave a magic wand and sprinkle the fairy dust. And so you two obviously need to discuss things. And we'll be waiting to help.
We've certainly given them a lot to take in.
Positive or negative, how calmly they took it?
I think they've been battered so much as people by the whole experience. And I think that's what concerns me. Do they have enough left in the engine, in the tank, to keep going?
I don't know, Johnny. Let's see what they come back to us with.
Yes.
You know, they need to be pretty bloody gung-ho, because otherwise they're in, you know, they're in trouble that we can't save them from.
In Bedford, I'm working with restaurateur Oliver Peyton to help owners Giovanni and Amanda improve the fortunes of Rio Bello.
We invested everything, all our savings, and a lot more.
And I must admit, I sometimes do have a breakdown and get upset.
With a huge menu, most kitchens would struggle to deliver quickly, and one that isn't enticing the locals away from the other Italian restaurants in town, we need a major rethink. Having had to give them some tough love last time, I want to check they're okay and up for the challenge ahead.
Rio Bello Restaurant, can I help you, sir?
Hi, darling, it's Alex.
I was wondering how you were after
Everything Oliver and I had to say to you.
I thought a lot of it was fairly spot on.
Have you and Amanda talked about your commitment?
Yes, I mean, we had a long conversation at the end of the day.
So, yeah, we're 100% committed in giving this our best shot.
And,
Okay, darling,
no,
that's
definitely,
good.
definitely.
Okay, grazie.
Ciao, ciao, grazie.
Ciao, Bella. Ciao, ciao. Grazie, ciao.
We've identified 3 key areas for improvement. Connect with the local Italian community, offer something different from the competition, and reduce the menu size.
We have to make your menu something that is really high quality, that's deliverable at a cost you can afford to make a profit, you know, and we have to find your little niche.
Oliver's brought Giovanni and Amanda to London's highly saturated food market to show them it's possible to thrive with a limited menu if it's done really well.
This is a slice of pizza in the West End of London at £4, or a whole pizza, 20 inches, £20. That's all they do, nothing else. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'd like to meet my friends Giovanni and...
Pleased to meet you. Thank you. Yeah.
Man.
Hi, Amanda. How you doing?
Tell them about pizza.
We kept it really simple. Just pizza, wine and beer. Okay. We do 10 variations a day. We change them seasonally, which is cooked in a wood-fired only oven. For us, it's about the quality of what we do. Quality of what we put on the pizzas. It's like we ship our mozzarella in twice a week from Naples. Our salami comes from an independent producer right in the centre of Italy. Ho, 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 ho. So that takes about 70 seconds to cook. And then you've got the dressing, the finishing of the pizza, and then out it comes. So you get your slice, pull it apart like that, pick it up, fold it in the middle, all contained there.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Fewer choices mean the kitchen can deliver high-quality food every time, and fewer ingredients lowers costs and waste, so it's also easier to make money.
Our menu's too large.
I would like to see a proposed menu on A4 with 4 salads, 4 pizzas, 4 pastas. Because otherwise, I don't know how long the restaurant can stay open as it is. You have to do something new and different and better to succeed.
Next stop, Notting Hill, and a place voted London's local restaurant of the year.
Service!
For its unique take on regionality and the provenance of its ingredients.
You know, puntarella, taste that. Actually, peeling puntarella is pretty hard. You know.
Taste the freshness.
Yeah.
I like the artichokes. It reminds me of Rome very much so. My dad and my uncle, where they live there, Used to grow them in the garden, so used to pick them and cook them, and, you know, it brings back all those flavours and aromas back of Rome. So, yeah.
You have to get those on the menu.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, since the last meeting we had, I mean, we're thinking a lot about the menu design and what we're going to do, and going back to maybe a lot more Roman and Lazio kind of dishes. And I've been looking at researching a lot of the other restaurants, and none of them do that.
Get all that food from round the hills of Rome and get them on that plate there.
Yeah.
Giovanni's clearly been doing his homework, and he's not the only one feeling inspired.
It's making me think we need to go back and we need to do this, and
Yeah.
this. That's what we know, yes, definitely.
Now. It's just like, you know, we've got to do this, we've got to do that, we've got to change this, we've got to change that.
But it isn't going to be easy.
If they can get a half-decent menu down to 4, 4 and 4, I'd be really surprised and very happy. But I just got to give them something that's a target to start off with.
It's been very eye-opening, I think, especially seeing how people are cooking the ingredients and the simplicity of it and how quick they've done things. And I think we need to kind of take that forward now.
Feeling inspired, Giovanni and Amanda waste no time working on Oliver's strict 4-4-4 target menu. And Giovanni thinks old family recipes could be the key to success.
So there's no other restaurant in Bedford that uses this, do you know?
Not as far as I know. So let's boil some water. A bit of some sauce on the go.
Do you need some onions chopped, or are you all right?
No, we're OK on that. When we ever used to go to Rome, my uncle used to cook this, and my auntie as well, because it is easy and it's tasty. They use the guanciale, which is the cheek, but again, you don't have to use that. You can use pancetta. Obviously, we've got to work out the costings. It's going to be an important factor for us as well. And portion control is another big factor. That's quite a lot as well, I think. We'll try that. We'll try an 80 and see what that looks like.
How hot's that going to be?
Hopefully not too hot. Is that all right?
That's nice.
Is that okay?
It's tasty.
Adding new dishes is easy, but hitting Oliver's target of shrinking the menu by 75% is a big ask.
Still looks quite a lot on there.
It does seem like a lot, and I think, you know, it is a work in progress, because a lot of people love the favourites. OK, they're not traditional Italian dishes, but that's what they seem to go for.
And everything also that we need to do has got to be fresh ingredients as well, because that's what Oliver was suggesting that we need to do. So we can't have anything that's got anything frozen on it.
No, there's nothing going to be there that's frozen. Go on then, signora, andiamo. Let's go and try.
Simple but really tasty.
Do you think the portion's right? Do you think that's OK?
I think so for a main course, yes.
Riobello's never made a profit. Rigorously costing out every serving will help them ensure they're actually making money.
So you're looking at about 85, 87p.
Per dish?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That making the profit that you need to make on it?
Yeah, if you're making the normal standard GP margin, it should be fine.
OK.
There's lots of restaurants that sell dirt cheap pasta at $4.99 or $5.99. Fair enough, that's up to them. But do we really want to go that low? No, I don't. Why should we? If you're selling a quality ingredient at a reasonable price, people are going to pay for it.
It's a promising start. Hello! Hello!
Hello!
Hi!
Ciao!
But I'm worried opening for lunch 6 days a week isn't just coming at a cost to their family life, it's actually costing them money too.
The very first day I came in, I said to you, why are you open all the time?
I have been saying to him, you need to really close a couple of afternoons, because you're not busy at all, and you're opening up and paying wages, and it would be nice for him to actually be at home for a little bit more.
But I think, you know, there is really an undeniable economic reason why, and I'm going to go through it with you.
At the moment, profit from the busier evening trade is simply swallowed up, paying to heat, light and staff an empty restaurant during the day.
So, whether you open or not, it costs you £87 a day. The moment that you've come in here and you open for lunch and you put the lights on, utilities bills, electrics, etc., wages, that is another £289 a day, which takes you to 376. Did you realise you had to take that much money every day?
I think we both realised we needed to take a lot more than we're doing now.
You know, you're not so busy that you can justify being here every day. So I think we need to kind of address that balance, and also we need to make a difference to the bottom line.
Closing on the quietest days will make a big difference to their overheads and hopefully their relationship too. And I also have a plan to make a difference to the decor, if Amanda agrees.
I want to show you what I'm thinking about doing, to give you a chance before I do it to say, oh my gosh, no, you must be crazy. Basically, it's to make the place look a bit warmer, a bit more properly authentic Italian.
Yep.
It'll look like that.
Oh, right, OK.
Yes.
That's lovely.
Then, we'd like to change the chairs. I think these are very old-fashioned,
I've
these
always
chairs.
hated the chairs.
So I'm getting you a job lot of chairs.
Thank you.
So along this wall, we're going to do a shelf with bottles all along it.
OK.
Mirrors and some pictures underneath. So it will
Lovely.
really fill up that wall and look nice.
OK, that's great.
We want to add colour and we want to add life and we want to add interest. Make it a bit more layered.
Yep. Sounds lovely.
Good.
Sounds really good.
OK, well, that's fantastic.
It really feels like we're making progress, but it'll count for nothing if no one knows about the new and improved Riobello.
I brought you here to the Club Italia because I always feel like us getting out and seeing people and talking to people is a good thing. And that's a lot of what being in business is about. You must have really been beaten down by life because meeting you this time, you feel a lot lighter and a lot more kind of able to deal with whatever's chucked at you. Yeah. You seem much more cheerful, darling.
Do I?
Yeah, but less pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, if I have to really put it, it's just, you know, less cross.
Encouraging them to spend time together working on the business seems to be paying off.
Before you were trying to take it all over yourself, but now I'm seeing what we could do and be more positive about it because we're talking about things more now.
Yeah.
What you're doing now is being proactive. You're actually finding ways to sort it out. And I think that's a clever thing to do. Because the only alternative is to lock the door, throw the keys over your shoulder and walk away into the sunset.
Yeah.
You know.
And we don't want to do that.
Hearing Amanda so committed to the future of the restaurant is such a positive step. But there's another issue we still need to address.
And there's a lot to do. And I really think we need to relaunch Riobello. You said yourself that you came in and you took it over and you just did it under the radar. We never put under new management.
No.
The more we do to make it obvious that there's been a massive change, the better it is.
A few days later, they both hit the streets to put the final stage of our plan into action.
Hello? As of next week, Thursday, we're doing a new menu. It's actually a lot smaller, but it will be fresh ingredients. Hopefully you'll love it.
Working together to reinvigorate Riobello isn't just bringing them closer to the local community either.
Just to invite you again to come round and enjoy the hospitality like you did last time.
Okay, yeah.
Amanda's been a tremendous support. She's been very enthusiastic and upbeat and very, very committed now. People associate the restaurant as me. It's not, it's us.
Come to invite you to a reopening or a relaunching of our new menu.
And for her to be a bit more proactive and a bit more there is encouraging for her, and it gives her a bit more an upbeat feeling as well, which is great.
The next day, work begins on the revamp of Riobello.
I'm really excited about how everything's changing because obviously there was a lot that we would love to have done, but we couldn't afford to do it any more than we've done now.
Unfortunately, our plan to make over and reduce their huge menu and only offer dishes inspired by Giovanni's Roman roots is not running so smoothly.
He knows he's got to let go of this big menu, but I think he's finding it really hard, really, really hard.
Yes, I have a few reservations. A lot of the dishes that are very, very popular are no longer on the menu. So, reaction to change, we shall see.
Two months ago, I joined forces with restaurateur and food critic Oliver Peyton to help Riobello, an ailing Italian that was driving a wedge between owners Giovanni and Amanda.
The aim is for us to try and get a bit of our life back together again because it was all about the restaurant.
We've asked them to really analyse whether they could afford to open for lunch 6 days a week, and they've bitten the bullet and reduced their opening hours.
It's like a new start for us now.
We've also asked them to slim their menu right down to entice the locals in and to give the kitchen a chance of delivering good food. But Giovanni needs some reassurance.
Hello?
Hi, darling. How are you?
Yeah, very good.
I'm very impressed with how well you've
Tackled the challenge.
I want us to celebrate everything you've achieved so far.
And hopefully to reassure you
that you're now on the right path. You're nervous about it, but what is going to make that successful is that you're going to do those dishes
perfectly every single time they leave that kitchen.
It is a bit scary at the end of the day, but we just need to push on now and get it finalised and ready for the relaunch.
All right, well, I look forward to seeing you.
Thanks a lot, Alice.
To make such a huge change is terrifying, but the only way really to stand out in such a crowded market as Bedford is to really have the courage of your convictions and just to do a few things and do them really, really, really well. Streamlining the menu was never going to be easy, but streamlining the time they spend at the restaurant is making it easier to put things in perspective.
Yeah, it's always that dilemma of thinking, you know, when you've been analysing all the old menus and the new menu.
Yeah, but you've been analysing it too much. You've been going over it too much. You need to just do it now.
Yeah.
Then we can change it every month, every week if we have to.
Yeah. Here's to hopefully a change of quite a few things, not just the menu.
Which makes a change, doesn't it?
It does. When was the last time we did some
Who are you?
nice? I'm your
Who are
husband,
you?
by the way. Are you? You're the one I see at home sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
With the day of the big relaunch upon us, Oliver and I have travelled back to Bedford.
So, remember what it was like when we first got here? Their marriage on the rocks.
Yep.
No money in the bank.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it couldn't really have been much worse, could it?
Well, I remember walking through the door and it looked like two people stuck in the headlights of a car, didn't it? But I really feel they have put their back into this.
Yeah, I agree.
Giovanni and Amanda's openness to the changes we've suggested has been amazing, but there's one major change we haven't seen yet.
Wow.
Using a simple but stylish mix of bold colours and design classics has given Riobello the warm look of an authentic trattoria.
I'm really, really pleased.
Money well spent.
It really is well spent, and it's transformed it.
Hey, hello.
Good to see you. What do you think?
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Fantastico.
Love it. I want to know how many people are coming.
We've got
packed.
Oh my gosh.
We're fully booked down
We're fully
here.
booked in
Yeah.
2 sectors here. So
We've had to actually turn people away for tonight,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
That is a high-class problem.
That's good, isn't it? That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But there is still the matter of the menu. We advised it had to shrink, but has it?
I am dying to see what you've done to the menu.
Okay, follow me. We'll have a coffee.
Come on, let's go.
Oh my God, this is what it was.
Oh, no.
Let us just remind ourselves. Let's have a look at the new thing.
How do you get from that to that? You're not a chef. How do you
amazing.
do that? In all honesty.
In all honesty, listening to people is the biggest thing.
I assume you've done the GPs on these.
We have.
And that they are coming in at the right spot,
They
the
are.
sweet spot.
Focusing on fewer, more unusual specialities gives diners a clear reason to come and should help the kitchen deliver consistently good food.
I'm really excited.
Me too.
I'm going to keep a tally of what everyone's ordering.
Okay.
Yeah?
Tonight's full house is certainly going to put that to the test.
How are you? All right? Take your seat.
Come stai?
Hello, darling. I'm Amanda. Hello, Amanda.
Antipasto to share.
No problem.
The shorter menu means diners are no longer being left baffled about what to choose, and the kitchen can now properly handle orders when they do.
That looks nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. It's fresh cold.
With chickpeas, it's very nice.
Better still, it means quality and consistency won't be sacrificed for speed.
Yummy. Oh, is it? Yummy? It's yummy. She says it's yummy, so...
A restaurant packed with locals enjoying authentic dishes they can't get anywhere else. It doesn't get any better than this.
To me, it's all about the menu. It's very challenging to change over that quickly. And I actually think they're all doing a good job. He knows where he wants to go. I mean, that's really important. Before, this was a rudderless ship. He had no idea where he wanted to go with the food.
Taking control over the menu also means Giovanni has more control over his profit margins. The figures aren't the only thing that's working better, though.
Gia and Amanda are just, they're on fire.
I know, they're really working and they're really loving it.
Are you having this as well as your gin and tonic? She loves everything. Looking after my own heart.
She's so charming and she's having such fun.
Yes.
But tonight isn't just about having a good time. I've been keeping a close eye on the takings too.
It's going really well.
It's
so
really
far,
well.
after only 11 covers, 433 quid. It's looking good.
It's looking good. We're getting there.
You're looking good.
Listen to that noise. This is like, to a restaurateur, this is like the best music you will ever hear.
At the start of this process, we were concerned Giovanni and Amanda might not have the energy to turn Riobello around.
Right, OK, let's go.
We needn't have worried.
It was fabulous.
Fantastic.
Yes, very
superb food.
We
Good
really
atmosphere.
Best pizza I've had in a long time. I tell people about it. Yeah, very happy.
How do you think it's gone?
Atmosphere-wise and people enjoying themselves, I think it's gone really well.
When we arrived here, you hated this place.
I do feel so differently about it and I really want it to work. Really do want it to work. And I feel like it's ours.
And actually, you two are so capable. And you're a fab team, aren't they?
Great team.
Because you created the magic. When it works, it's like directing a symphony orchestra and everyone playing in tune. What I think is quite impressive is what you turned over tonight, is what you turned over the whole of last week.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Over £1,500. You do that 3-4 nights a week, Donnie. You've got a really viable business.
Absolutely. Salute. Thank you very much. Cheers. To the future.
2 years ago, Giovanni convinced Amanda to gamble everything they had on this place. Tonight, it's starting to feel like the odds might finally be stacked in their favour.
I'm leaving here on a real high. They seem much more happy together. They seem much happier with the restaurant.
Fantastic evening, absolutely fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Always very, very proud of Amanda. Watching her, love you lots for that.
That's what I do for you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Good.
It's been hard, but I'm very proud of you as well.
I promise you, now they've got the taste for it, now they see how great it can be, they're going to want this.
We're really enjoying it, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. This is just the start.
Success here.
Me too. Genuine. I think it's the best thing we've done. Right?
I know, I'm so glad, darling. Oh, thank goodness.
This time, I'm heading to Leicester, a city with almost 200 Indian restaurants, all competing for customers. But 2 years ago, one man decided the city was ready for another, serving his take on Indian food.
See what I mean by tumbleweed? Business has been poor to awful.
In 2015, Pratik opened Lilu with the support of his wife, Bhavini. She spends her days working in a chemist and her evenings front of house.
Lilu has become Pratik and I's baby. Like, all of our hours are here, we spend all of our time here.
Pratik traded early mornings helping Dad in the family's corner shop for the late nights of running his first ever restaurant.
First 4 months was very hard because we never been in this restaurant business before. I always encourage him. If you work hard, you can become success in your life.
So with the support of all the family, Pratik poured everything into opening Lilu.
The total investment was around £40,000. That included selling my car. Order. Table 3, chicken tikka, 1 puri, 1 chicken tikka, but the old way. 2 lamb gilaffi hot. We've got a fixed 2-course or 3-course menu. It's £29 a head for 2 courses, 35 for 3. Then you want the rack of lamb. Yeah, you want the rack of lamb. We had a really good sort of 2 or 3 month period where I thought, you know, we're high and dry, we'll be fine. And then it just died. My main priority is to make sure I pay my staff. Our head chef's just bought a house. I need to find a way to make this successful.
Independent restaurants have to be really special to survive. We need to work together and find a way to turn things around.
Hi.
Hello.
Pratik, I'm Alex Polizzi.
Hi.
Very nice to
How are
meet
you?
you. Good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Nervous. Here to help.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
the
you.
plan.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Why a restaurant? Tell me what on earth brought you to this field of dreams?
5 years ago, my mum passed away, and we'd always said, we'll start a restaurant when you retire. She passed away, and I just realised that she was a great cook, and everyone was always of the thought that she should do it herself. And then she wasn't here, and it was a case of what is there to lose?
When Pratik was little boy, he is a special boy because after 10 years of our marriage, he born. My wife insists good food every day.
Saturday afternoons used to revolve around Dad coming home from work at 1 o'clock. We would sit down on the table to have lunch, freshly cooked chapatis.
He is always anxious to know something what we making today. He's always helpful to Mom.
Sorry, are you all right? Have I upset you?
No, it's just, I've not looked at any of these photos since she passed away.
Darling, I'm sorry. I really didn't realise that. I'm so sorry. I mean, look at this beaming boy. Your mum. Well, so that should be up somewhere. Pride of place, darling. She's the inspiration.
Mum passed away, and I didn't really mourn because I couldn't.
I think it's wonderful that she inspired you with such a passion for doing something so brave. And we've got to honour her memory by making sure this thing bloody works.
Yeah? That's it, yeah.
It's never a good idea to make big life decisions when you've gone through some trauma because, you know, emotions obviously to the fore and probably adrenaline kind of saw him through. But in the cold light of day, this is a bloody hard business and it's a long, hard slog. It's been a tough time for Pratik and his family. I need to find ways to turn around Lilu's fortunes so he can feel more positive about his future.
I don't know why, it looks quite corporate.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an independent. Did you inherit the Indian fine dining tag as well?
Yeah.
You did, now all the little tiny pennies are starting to fall into place. Something that is a real bugbear of mine.
Yep.
Why are these like this? You know, people walk past, they see a Chinese vase and they see a mini sellotape to a window.
Yeah.
And somehow this does not automatically give them a thought like maybe we should just keep walking on by.
For those customers who do go inside, they're greeted by more mixed messages and no clear identity.
Here we have beach huts.
Yep.
Here we have Chinese pottery.
Yep.
What on earth are you doing with Padstow, Lake District? You have got to sell your story. The whole point about independent businesses is there's always a really interesting
kernel of truth at the heart of it. Promoting a clear identity to reflect Pratik's story will be an issue we'll need to nail. But the food is the heart of the place, and to get a valued opinion of Pratik's set menus, I have a big admission to make. Last night, I sent in acclaimed critic and restaurateur Oliver Peyton to get the lowdown on Lilu. I haven't been completely straight with you because I did send in my partner in crime, who is my brother-in-law, Oliver. I got him to come in and scope out the place for me first. He knows a lot about food. And I think the first thing I'll do is give you a few edited highlights of what he thought.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. How are we? Good, thank you. Hopefully you've got a booking for 4, Saya?
Sale, yeah, yep. There we go.
Lovely.
Can I just ask you, what is the fish of the day and the game?
Fish of the day is sea bass, and game I will have to check.
I could have done without him telling me that the chef only turned up at 10 to 6. I'm on an evening out, I don't need to know that. This idea of a fixed price menu, £20, £9 for 2 courses, I'm just not interested in that. Well, it's taken us 35 minutes to get our starters, so we're concerned about how long it's taken. Okay, Alex, I'm out. Wow, that was an experience. For £29, there's lamb chops in the starter, soft shell crab. But you know, the food is not bad. It's good, it's not great, but there's signs of life.
What do you think? Do you think that's fair, unfair?
The 35-minute for the starter was a little bit longer than we would have liked to. The reason we've got a 2-course or a 3-course menu is it works in some ways because most people that come in will have a 2-course meal.
I'd like to know that you have actually costed out these dishes properly.
I've not.
It's essential in this business to sell dishes that deliver the right profit. This will be a fundamental lesson for Lilu. The truth is, you've put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
You've put your money into this restaurant, and I salute you for the bravery.
Yeah.
I just now have to sweep up the remnants of any naivety and any of the sillier decisions that you've made.
That's it.
And we need to make this work. Two years ago, Pratik opened Lilu, a fine dining Indian restaurant in Leicester. But his new concept isn't pulling in the crowds.
When it's quiet, it does feel like it's a bit of a drain when you're not actually being able to spend time with your family, but then at the same time, you're not making a living.
Today, we start the challenge of getting the restaurant on the road to recovery. First up, food profitability. I've brought along restaurateur and critic Oliver Peyton to help. His years of experience will be crucial.
I always say to everyone, oh, what's it like being in the restaurant business? I say, it's like having a baby that never grows up, that's always in nappies. That's what it's like. It always needs attention, you know, and that's the culture we need to get into you.
Yeah.
Again and again, we're seeing that, you know, people are opening restaurants without the skill sets. We're going to try and give them to you, but now you have to prove that you can do it.
Yep.
We want to show Pratik he needs to make the ideal 70% profit on every dish he sells, which might mean a rethink for the soft-shell crab for starters. This dish costs $3.55 to put on a plate. To sell it for 70%, you'd have to be selling it for £14.20.
Okay.
This crab is a pricey start to a meal.
I mean, the scary thing for me was the lamb. You know, this dish cost £9.30-something to put up. You should be selling this dish at around £34, £35, something in that variety to be getting your margin. You know, so that this dish alone should be sold at more than you're charging for your whole menu. The 2 dishes you're looking at here is a reason that you might go out of business. Because that's your livelihood, that's your future.
Yeah, so it's getting on top of that. At the end of the day, it's about turning this business into a business.
Over here, we've got some solutions. Selling food for more than it costs to make is the golden rule of profit. First up, a chicken tikka starter. The cost price for this whole dish is £1.11.
Yep.
So, darling, if you're selling it at £7, you are making 81% profit every time you sell that dish.
And for a butter chicken main course...
And this dish, which is costing you just above £2, and you'll be selling at £12.
Also making Pratik around an 80% margin.
You have to be a walking computer all of the time while you're greeting the guests. You know, there's so much going on in your head which needs to become second nature to you, which is not at the moment.
No. Now, with hopefully a better understanding of pricing dishes for profit, it's time to put the first stage of our plan into action, starting tonight with the evening service.
So what we're going to do is we're going to try and put the set menu against an a la carte menu.
We want to show Pratik his set menu strategy has to change by taking his starter and main course dishes that make money and arranging them as an a la carte.
He was feeling consoled because he was getting 29 quid out of someone rather than the 18 or 19 quid that he'll be getting if they order off the a la carte. But the point is that he's making no money off that £29 menu. What's the point? Sell a menu for less and make more money. I mean, that's got to make sense.
We hope our test will show the direction Lilu should head in. Pratik's £29 set menu or our more profitable a la carte.
We've got a la carte menu, which is individually chosen dishes, and then we've got a 2-course menu.
Tonight is about understanding what customers want to pay, but also we hope to see how Pratik leads and communicates with his team.
Well, what do you think of this new menu? What do you think of the new menu?
To be honest, this menu, I haven't seen yet.
You haven't seen the menu you're about to cook?
Have you explained that to the kitchen?
Do you want me to explain?
I don't know if it... Yeah, I can go and explain it to the kitchen.
Or does it not matter?
No, it won't really make it. Because all these are just normal menu items.
Okay, fine.
There, so.
Okay.
I'm not putting my whites on, all right?
We'll need to be harsh on Pratik if we're to spot other areas that need looking at and ultimately test whether he actually has it in him to run a restaurant.
Can we get a table for two?
Yeah, sure. Let me just take you through to the table. Got a couple of menus available today. So we've got our £29 2-course menu just there. And then we've got our a la carte menu, which is just there for you.
Do you think poppadoms?
Yes, your poppadoms and dips are complimentary from us.
Straight away, he appears to have forgotten all about making a profit on food, so I'll need to be cruel to be kind.
You realise you've sent my costings out the window.
Right.
Because you didn't mention all the stuff that comes first. I haven't costed that in, have I?
It's a costly mistake, but a simple fix, free food will have to stop. Hi. Straight from her day job, Pratik's wife Bhavini arrives for the evening shift.
So you've come after a day's work?
Yes.
To help out here?
Yeah, well, I come when it gets quite busy, usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday I'm here, but normally 9 to 6 I'm at work, so yeah, long days.
With service underway, it's becoming clear the a la carte is the way to go.
So no prefix menus at all yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
The whole point about a set price menu is that it's supposed to be cheap, it's supposed to be quick, it's supposed to be easy to deliver. I mean, I'm glad that the a la carte's doing so well, but it's not a surprise. You know, people do not want to spend £29 on a set menu.
But the new menu in a busy restaurant have exposed a problem. Pratik is struggling to cope with the pressure of running a busy service.
Can I ask a quick question? Are you going to run out of anything?
Yes, I've already said to Alex that we'll run out of the stuffed baby peppers.
So are you telling people when they sit down? No is the answer to that, right?
No, I've not told the last table.
When people sit down, you have to tell them if something's off the menu.
Something's off the menu.
Because otherwise...
They'll order that, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Why don't you go and tell them? Should I go and tell them?
No, as in...
Should Alex go and tell them? Should we all go and tell them?
Clear communication is crucial to running an efficient service. And beginning to feel the heat, Pratik pulls me aside.
when you're going to be bringing loads of people in,
Yeah.
if you could just prepare me so I can prepare the kitchen, so then we can prepare food, because
There's not loads of people, darling. There's 18 people in here.
As the evening gets into full swing, orders are beginning to slip.
No, table 7 hasn't gone. Table 7 just came up now.
2 tables have been seated for more than an hour because the order came in at 6:35. They're still on starters. The main courses haven't been called away, and an hour has gone by. That is too slow.
And on top of a slow service, a lack of communication is causing further confusion.
That's not the menu, but it's the fact that...
What's
wrong? Tell me what's wrong.
No, it was the fact that we didn't know how many people were going to turn up today.
You didn't speak to him. Yes. You didn't speak to him. You didn't tell him there was an a la carte going on. You didn't tell him what was on the a la carte. How's he meant to prep it? How's he meant to prep it? But people are just buying a few dishes. You didn't tell him what was happening.
I understand
that.
that.
So this is not time for conversation. I have to serve him.
We've really put Pratik through his paces this evening, but our deliberate tough love has dished up a positive result.
Apart from one table of 2, everyone ordered the a la carte. We know that the a la carte makes more money. I would suggest that almost immediately you look at your menu and you move to an a la carte situation, yeah?
Okay. It's a no-brainer for the menu direction, and tonight's service has given us plenty more to chew on.
You know, your staff did you proud. They're all really nice. The chefs are competent. So that's where the good news ends.
To be honest with you, I did almost cry in there this evening. You're just not present. You're in a situation where there's potentially a great business here. You're the person not running the restaurant. We want you and your family to be successful and happy, you know, and you have got to turn up. You've got to learn how to run a restaurant, and really quickly.
I want to see someone who's energetic and who's thrusting and who's enthusiastic and who's got ideas to throw into the pot rather than just waiting to receive.
I know we need help, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
I've been called to Leicester and struggling Lilu Indian restaurant, where owner Pratik is failing to turn a profit with his set menus. With the help of restaurateur Oliver Peyton, we aim to reverse his fortunes, and last night began by testing Pratik's £29 menu against a cheaper, more profitable a la carte.
Generally, I think we had most people going for the a la carte as opposed to the set menu. At the end of the day, whatever gets more guests coming in and actually making the restaurant more profitable, that's essentially what we want.
With the £29 menu hopefully a thing of the past, Pratik needs to ensure each dish now makes the basic profit margins restaurants rely on.
Hi JP, you okay? We've already been looking at the option of adding a few more vegetarian items, costing out the individual dishes and having a better understanding of our menu.
Pratik appears to be listening and has called a meeting with his head chef, JP.
So I need to sort out the margins.
Costing of it.
Yeah, costings, because obviously, you know, with regards to the rack of lamb, we're just not making, we're not making target GP.
The signs are encouraging. Not only is Pratik communicating with his key staff, but he has put making a profit high on his to-do list.
Vegetable for the starter.
Next up, we need to work on the overall dining experience. It's essential in running a successful restaurant.
I brought Pratik to London because there's 2 things we need to tackle. One is obviously the service. You know, I need to get him up to an acceptable level. The second thing is the kind of soulless nature of his venture. You know, you walk in there and it feels as if it could be a chain Indian restaurant. How do you think it went when we had the restaurant full the other day?
Lots to learn with regards to myself.
Did you think all the criticism was justified?
I think it was hard to take.
What I felt that it really showed was that you've never worked in a restaurant before, so you've kind of made it up as you've gone along and from what you've observed from going to other places. So I'm going to take you somewhere that hopefully will fill in some of the gaps in your knowledge. Yeah?
Yeah.
To help him further, I found him a restaurant I really want him to experience.
Hi, Alex Polizzi. This is Pratik.
Hi, Pratik.
Hi.
I'm Asma,
Hi.
and this is Darjeeling Express, my restaurant.
Asma Khan swapped law for a career in cooking. It's her passion which permeates through her first London restaurant.
You know, it's your child. You know, whether they're fat, ugly, and horrible, and then they fail their grades, you know, you still love it because it is yours.
Darjeeling Express began life as a supper club, with Asma serving 12 people in her home.
Happy to be here.
Very happy.
Do you know Asma by repute?
I know her from the supper club environment, but yeah, no, it's really exciting to be here.
Asma's restaurant showcases the traditional recipes and photos which influence her food. I want Pratik to take inspiration for Lilu and see that telling the story of his mum and family is a good idea.
It's amazing. We're right in the middle of London, and yet somehow you're really transported. Obviously, it helps having all these photographs from home. The colours have been chosen really carefully. The lighting has been done really well. It just feels very personal, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think I was always worried about using photographs from my life. But I think, as you said, people want to know where it's all from.
Your restaurant has got to be a reflection of you, and I think somehow that's, you know, you do have a story, and you've got a lovely story, and you've got the same kind of story that Asma has. You know, it's a family thing that you wanted to achieve, and I think somehow we've got to convey that to people.
Yeah.
We've got to convey the soul.
Combining a great atmosphere with the right level of service is key to the success of this restaurant. King runs the floor here. With 25 years' experience in the industry, he knows how to deal with customers.
Have you seen fashions of service come and go?
Yes, definitely. I came from a background where I was suited and booted. That formal, soldier-like, I don't think people want it anymore. There are some people who want to be talked to, some people want to be left alone, but all want to be fed.
Great advice from King. But what has Asma learnt from her time running this restaurant?
What advice would you give him? What words of wisdom?
You have to let go and adopt something that is working.
Yeah.
It may not be what you had dreamt of.
No.
But if it works, it's for the long run, you have your restaurant.
So I'm not going to see you for a while now.
No.
So what I really want you to think about, there's three things after today that I think you know that you need to look at your menu.
Yeah.
Anything that's on has got to make its GP.
Yeah.
Take a good long look at your service and your order of service. And is there anything that you can do to simplify, to make life easier?
Yeah, of course.
And then the third, and really almost the most important thing, is to think of a way to convey your story, your narrative to the customer, to bring some personality into that place.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's trying to show that Lilu isn't just another corporate brand.
Yes.
It's us. It's a family. It's a history.
The story behind Lilu is what we need to convey. Pratik may be in charge.
All right then, I'll see you later then. Okay, bye.
But his wife, Bhavini, has supported his big ideas from the beginning.
Pratik's always had, like, big ambitions. I think he's on that's got, like, the biggest dreams. He's achieved the dream of opening the restaurant to be an established restaurant. I think that's what his next dream is to be.
I guess I am starting to feel a little bit more positive about it, learning the things that we're falling short on. It's more about proving to myself that I'm able to run a successful restaurant business and sort of learning from my mistakes.
It's Diwali time. Families gather to celebrate the festival of lights and great food. In the kitchens at Lilu, Pratik is working into the night on new dishes for his a la carte menu.
You might need a touch of lemon.
We need dishes that are profitable, but also allow him to tell customers the story behind his food.
And we've also added one of my mum's special recipes. So she used to make it's basically like a cabbage salad, so a raw cabbage salad.
Dishes like this are quick to assemble and therefore speedier to serve. These are all encouraging signs from Pratik.
I think we're sort of gaining a little bit of pace with show people we're doing something a little bit different. We just need to still be here in 20 years.
The last few years have been tough for Pratik, but hearing him talk about the future is a real step in the right direction. The next morning, and it's an early start for Pratik, who's been invited onto local radio to share his love of food. This is a wonderful opportunity to go public with the new plans for Lilu.
Good morning to you. It's 8 minutes past 10. Coming up after UB40 and Chrissy Hine, we're going to be speaking to Pratik Master. Now, Pratik is from Lilu in the city centre here in Leicester, and he's got some hints and tips for you for Diwali.
With around 150,000 listeners a week, this is a chance for Pratik to sell his story and share a recipe inspired by his mum.
It's the one dish that I still have mothers asking me how to make.
Canvi is a dish from his childhood. It's been hard for Pratik to share his food memories on his menu, but bit by bit, it's starting to happen.
I always thought about doing these for the restaurant as well, but I guess you're always scared to a certain extent that will people want to see what you've grown up with.
With Pratik announcing plans for his new menu, I've asked Oliver to check up on progress.
I mean, how much do you look forward to Diwali, not only with the restaurant, with friends, with family, with cooking things? What does it mean to you?
Diwali is really important to us because we, with the restaurant, we're always sort of trying new things. So on the 1st of November, we're actually doing a new menu, which is going to sort of maybe even include some of the items that we're actually making today.
This is amazing because he's born for this, isn't he? He sounds like an old hand. Like he gets up in the morning and he does a radio show. It's great.
I've got to say, Pratik, there is so many delicious smells. It smells wonderful. So here we go. Oh,
good.
They say you shouldn't eat with your mouth full. Talk with your mouth full. Shall I should say? I've got to have another Canvi. Your 11 o'clock news is on the way.
You know, behind that smile, is there any action? That's what I want to know.
Hello.
Pratik, you have a menu board.
I do.
Give me a hug.
How are you?
It's a miracle, isn't it? People now know what you sell.
It does help, doesn't it? It does help. Yeah, no,
And what's also encouraging is that Pratik has been busy with the finances.
Are you working on costing?
I am. I think you've drummed it into me. As you said, I've got to be a walking, talking calculator.
Forget about that. I don't talk about that yet. I want to talk about the fact that you are the Terry Wogan of Leicester.
Yes. Well, yeah, that was a very interesting morning. Sort of just going through, I guess, going through my passion.
Have you saved me any of those Canvi?
I certainly have.
Perfect starter.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. I mean, you could add a couple more dips to it.
A little flavour of what Mum used to cook.
Not only does this dish have a story, it also makes a healthy 70% profit, something we've insisted on since day one. Everything on the menu has to have a price. Time for Oliver to remind Pratik of exactly why.
So we're at the table of free food.
We're at the table of free food.
So how much is all this free food costing you?
I think we're looking at sort of at least sort of £1.50 to £2 per person.
Wow. Is that cost price to you?
That's cost price to us.
So on a busy night with 40 covers, it means Pratik could be giving away up to £80 in free food.
One of the things you'll really notice when you go into a good restaurant is you don't get any bread until you've ordered.
Yeah, that's right.
You get them after you've ordered, and I think that's quite important because what you don't want to do is people come in, sit down, start eating. Oh, I'm a bit full already.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
can I just do the bill, please?
Yeah.
Finally, it seems like the menu is on the right track and the free food is in check. We just need Pratik to keep working towards the finish line.
When I ate here the last time, I felt I was like in the restaurant in The Shining or something. It was just a timepiece. Alex and I have very high hopes for Pratik, so when we come back, I want this to be rocking.
It's less than a week until Pratik opens the doors and launches his new start for Lilu.
I've just sent you an email. We just want a bifold menu.
An Indian restaurant he was inspired to open in memory of his late mother.
With Mum's blessing, we're on the road to success. It's time to shoot for the stars.
With the complete overhaul of his menu and the restaurant interior well underway, we now need to continue with the promotion.
So is this the salad we're going to be photographing first?
The cabbage salad.
Cabbage salad.
I have arranged for local photographer Scott Ciaucino to help Pratik take stills of his new dishes for his website and social media.
Photographing food is so important today. The food hashtag has millions of hits. It's probably one of the most photographed things in the country right now. To make a good food image, there's 3 things which are really important. The first, which is lighting. Ideally, you want to work with the available light. The best place to do it is outside in the shade, or indoors, but with natural light coming in.
Shall I go and get my camera?
After that, it'd be composition.
No fancy equipment required, just a smartphone.
With an image like this, a lot of it is hidden in the deep bowl. So what we really want to do is pull it out so you can really see all of these ingredients. We've got the purples, reds, yellows and greens coming through, so it adds a bit more interest to it. And lemon juice just over there. Kept the stalk in there. Quickly grab this shot.
OK, cool.
There's no way you'd know there'd be the lemon flavour coming through without seeing the lemons on the side. So it's these important little details which really tell the customer what they're going to be tasting and what they're going to be experiencing.
How Lilu communicates with its customers has needed work from day one, but it seems finally we're making positive progress. Now, with new dishes looking as good as they taste, Pratik wants to share his story and food with the local press.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So obviously we've been writing a bit of a story about your new menu, so I'm just calling to find out a bit more about it.
Lilu is the realisation of his dream to open a restaurant with his mum. Now Pratik is trying to honour her memory by making it a success.
You know, Mum was such a massive influence on my food knowledge. I try not to think about it because it does. It's not something that to me, if anyone just comes back and says, "Oh yeah, we can think about your mum's food," that's me done. Like that's what I want.
How are you?
Good. Nice to see you back in Leicester.
I'm excited.
I'm nervous.
Why?
Because I hope that he's actually learnt some lessons and then we're going to see a transformed Pratik. The last time we saw Lilu put through its paces, it was hard to watch. But we're about to discover whether our tough love strategy has paid off.
What do you think?
Better. Much, much better. Menus in the menu boxes. Hello! Oh. How are you? Hi, Gavin.
Good.
Are you pleased with how it's looking?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The fact that you've got rid of Indian fine dining.
It looks a lot more professional.
This was a restaurant that had lost its way, and for the last 2 years, customers had been passing it by. With its overpriced menu of costly dishes and an owner lost in his own grief, this was a business that was at a standstill. On the inside, the welcome was more corporate than cosy. Mismatched prints and abstract artifacts never displayed the real story of Lilu. The story of Pratik's family and his life.
Is your dad glad to have it up?
Yeah. Got quite emotional yesterday.
But you know, darling, it's real. I mean, that's the thing. We're not faking anything. No. We haven't made anything up.
How many bookings do you have?
38 covers tonight.
And you've spread out the bookings?
We have.
Over what? How staggered?
So we've got our first table coming in at 6, and I think our last table's coming in at 9 o'clock.
Good.
Wow, that's very good spread.
Gosh, so you're turning tables?
We are.
Yeah, you don't seem that excited. You seem nervous.
We want tonight to go fantastic as a beginning to the rest. So, yeah.
That's a really...
Pratik's hard work promoting his relaunch has certainly paid off.
We're doing a whole new menu today.
And after watching how a busy London restaurant runs, he is leading his first proper staff meeting.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
The restaurant looks lovely. I mean, it definitely looks a lot warmer and cosier than it did before. Hopefully, Pratik seems, you know, a bit energised. Got a long service to get through. Let's see how we get on.
Hopefully, we've given him the skills and confidence to run a successful restaurant, not just for tonight, but into the future.
I'm going to go with the Mumbai champ.
Isn't that fantastic?
Never had it outside of Mumbai.
Would you like to order any sides? We've got a special on today, which is our cabbage kachumber. Is anyone ordering lamb for your main? It goes especially well with the lamb. Stuffed baby peppers with minced paneer inside.
I'm hearing him upselling dishes, which is really nice. He definitely seems as if he's more in the game.
Would you like me to tell you a little bit more about the menu?
Yes.
Right, so...
To be fair to him, he's listened to what we're saying, he's talking more about the menu, he's engaged with the customers. Happy days.
Also, we've got a special on today with our cabbage kachumber. Now it's time to feed you.
Dazzled.
We will try to dazzle.
Can I ask you, how is butter chicken a side dish?
We get a lot of requests for people not to order a full order of butter chicken, but they want to have a little bit between two.
Oh, right.
And that's why it's on there, and that's basically the only reason it is.
You have an answer for everything, don't you? I mean, you really do. You're in the wrong business. You need to go to politics.
I'll take that away for you. Thank you very much.
I thought that was really well done. I thought it was really professional. I liked the way he came to the table. You know, you're very intimidating, and
the team has been a real asset to us. It's also nice for them to be getting a certain amount of praise as well.
JP, well done, mate. That food came out really beautifully.
Did you enjoy your meal?
Really speedily. Yeah. You know, food is great.
They work really hard, and it's good for them to also get a little bit of recognition.
I think it was something we both commented on was when we first saw Oliver do the secret filming.
Yeah.
You did not look comfortable in your service role.
Yeah.
But I saw a completely different Pratik tonight.
I actually thought you were physically attached to the counter, that it moved with you, you know. Whereas now, I feel you are an integral part of this business. When we came here and done 18 covers, it was chaos. And doing 35 covers, and you could have, in my opinion, doubled that amount of people.
Yeah, I'm hoping like this is the first night of you owning and running a restaurant, and you're going to still make mistakes, and you're still going to have to change, but you've made a bloody good fist of it tonight.
Yeah, you are a changed man. I just want to make sure that you keep going. Don't stop. Give me a big hug.
Thanks. Well done.
Thank you. I wasn't that bad, was I?
We love it. We'll be back soon.
We'll be back.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Watch those customers. Sell them some champagne.
Yes, let's do it. The Bollinger.
None free.
I have to admit, I'm pleased.
Do you know what? That went way better than I expected. I was really worried about the trip.
Oliver and I are leaving with a spring in our step, not because there's been such a massive change in Lilu, the restaurant, and its success. I mean, that remains to be seen. What we have seen is a massive difference in Pratik.
We are here to help people. We want everyone to succeed, and I am super happy with what he's done so far.
The restaurant feels it's got a real story, a story of our history, our past, but also growing towards the future and a brighter future.
This is ultimately a family business, but it's up to Pratik to show that it can be a success.
This time, I'm called in to help a struggling family-run restaurant with its owners at a loss.
Good afternoon, the Nook and Cranny. OK, we look forward to seeing you then. We did have a table of 4. and it's gone down to a table of 2 at the moment, so that's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, again, a really another quiet lunch. When it's slower, I've probably got time to think of how much I dislike being here.
3 years ago, Malcolm and wife Christine sunk their life savings into buying the Nook and Cranny restaurant.
You can't pour from an empty cup, and I think we're both bloody empty.
Having been a head chef for 10 years, Malcolm took a gamble to realise the dream of running his own place.
So for lunch, you've got a slow-cooked duck leg and just a little mixed bean cassoulet with chorizo pancetta. Nice and simple. The reality is, having set foot in the door and opened my own business, it's a stark reality change from what I expected. The business as it stands isn't profitable.
It's so unbelievably tight at the moment financially. We're running at a loss. Malcolm and I don't take any money, we don't take a wage. The past couple of years, we've just been living off credit cards, you know, and the credit cards are just going up and up and up.
The reality also of 3 kids under the age of 6 years old is hard.
Mom, we got the crucial years with our children, and it worries me what we're setting them up for.
As I run both a business and a family myself, this is a challenging cry for help I simply can't ignore.
Here we are. The Nook and Cranny restaurant, car park at rear. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Alex.
Very nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
OK, here I am at your baby. Tell me why you bought this place.
Because my husband wanted to.
So you had, yeah, I see, so you were dragged along.
Yes, very much kicking and screaming.
Hello,
there you
you're
go.
in trouble already and we're
I say, I don't know anything.
So nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Why did you buy this place?
Dream come true. Try and create a successful business.
So you've got background in restaurants all your life, I take it. You somehow
Absolutely
not.
none whatsoever.
The 60-cover restaurant hasn't made any profit since it opened, and now Christine has been roped into the business.
Getting a restaurant manager in was too much, so Christine stepped in. Now she's doing as many hours as I have to.
It's like a massive black hole that has pulled us all in.
The restaurant may be Malcolm's dream, but I'm already concerned it's become Christine's nightmare.
Is there anything you like about the business?
From my perspective, I physically can't be a mum. Spreading myself too thinly. I have no choice. I have to. Sorry.
It's all right, darling. I understand. It's exhausting.
It's just like I have to let someone down just to try and do this, and it'd be like my children, my little ones, my big ones, my family, my friends don't see anyone, so we're so completely consumed.
So that's why I'm here, isn't it? I'm to try and see. I'm here to try and help you find a path through the thicket kind of thing. I see the biggest problem in the fact that you're not making money. Because when you're making money, then you can employ people. At the moment, you don't have that luxury.
With Christine in crisis, the first big issue I need to resolve is generating a profit from the Nook and Cranny's menu. I've taken a brief look at the accounts, and any restaurant worth its salt would be delivering a food gross profit, or GP, of around 70%. But I've spotted Malcolm's is worryingly low.
I mean, certainly on the P&L that I saw from May to July, you're making 37% GP.
Horrible.
Which is where I imagine quite a lot of your problems start from.
It's where focus lies, you know. I've been handed a sheet, profit and loss, the same one that you've looked over. You know, the figures are there in black and white, so it's almost a sense of denial.
Making profit from your food is restaurant rule number 1. So we'll need to help Malcolm nail this, getting familiar with his figures.
Delicious.
All good?
I've got no doubt that you can cook. What I'm here to do is
make sure you start focusing on some of the things that make you a business owner rather than just a chef.
Yeah.
Fine.
We're into year 3, we're struggling. I'm working 17, 18-hour days. So the actual management and business ownership is 100% neglected and not happening. So if there's advice to help implement some sort of structure, then amen, bring it on.
And it's not just his food calculations missing the mark. Outside, I've spotted a problem with the restaurant's identity.
So I just wanted to point out to you, I think, how this appears. First of all, the Nook and Cranny sounds like it's a tea room. Does it not? That there looks like a pub A-board. You've got something that suggests it's a coffee shop. Very mixed messages. People are chicken. People are a bit shy. And I think we need to sell the fact that this is a restaurant. And we have to sell it as a location. And we have to sell it as something, you know, really appealing. You want to entice people in. And I don't think at the moment all of this is doing that. Are they all home?
Yes.
Normally, my focus is solely on helping the business. But Malcolm and Christine have invited me back home to meet some of their 7 children, whose livelihood depends on the success of the restaurant.
It's Daddy.
Daddy in the daytime, look. Hello, 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 hi.
I have 3 older daughters from my first marriage, and then Malcolm and I have 3 very young children, 5, 3 and 2-year-old.
And then I have Evan from my first marriage, who's 12.
I don't know how you do it. I'm really admiring, I must say.
It's just, you've got a choice, haven't you? And we've chosen this path, so we've just got to get on.
So would your ideal be that you don't have to work there at all?
No, because in my head, it'd obviously be picking up shifts that needed covering, or it would actually be just coming along to support and oversee what was going on. But my primary concern would be my family.
So what happened on the first day of opening?
We'd opened for Christmas Day, was possibly one of our first services. The buzz and excitement was there. You know, we'd started to gather a bit of momentum.
And then?
April, May time, it kind of slumped. You hit those ruts, you really start to question if, you know, if you've done the right thing.
I think the thing is, actually, I see enormous potential in your restaurant. To make this work for you guys, when it works, a little business, you do manage to still to get away a bit more and control a bit more which bits you do and which bits you don't. But now you need to concentrate and you need to focus.
There's a lot at stake here. So the quicker we can help the business, the sooner Christine can return to focusing on the family.
I think you're doing an amazing job. You've got an immaculate house, lovely children, and a great relationship with your husband.
Oh, thank you.
I'll be back next week. Do you know, it is amazing. They seem to be able to cope with an awful lot more than most people. You know, I've got a house full of children, and I suppose that's the value of coming here. It's the fact of bringing it home to me, you know, how important it is that I help Nook and Cranny be more successful.
Straight away, I've identified key areas for concern. For starters, we'll need to help tackle the lack of profit on food and the restaurant's confused identity.
I'm looking forward to the next few months, how business can evolve, how we can start to make some money and formulate a winning business plan that actually works this time round. So yeah, fingers crossed.
I was quite impressed with the food that I saw at the Nook and Cranny yesterday, but I want to analyse it a bit more closely.
And today the work begins. So, I have a plan to bring in some extra help and a surprise for Malcolm.
Good afternoon, the Nook and Cranny.
Hi, it's Alex Polizzi.
Hello, Alex.
Well, I'm working with someone on your restaurant who is my brother-in-law, Oliver Peyton. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Oliver Peyton, let me see, yes, I do know Mr. Peyton.
It's going to be his role to take a closer look and analysis of food. And he's just around the corner. He should be with you any minute.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, thank you for the notice.
I'm sure he'll love your food, darling. All right.
Thanks, Alex, and I'll speak to you real soon.
Bye. Talk to you soon. Bye, darling.
Bye, bye.
Bye.
Oh, come on.
I've been called in to help the Nook and Cranny, where owners Malcolm and Christine have failed to see a profit since opening 3 years ago.
It's critical now, you know. It's nasty to be in a situation where you feel like there's no way out.
This is a big challenge which starts by tackling the unprofitable menu. And helping us along the way is acclaimed restaurateur Oliver Peyton.
You know, Oliver really has a food knowledge that's admirable. And it's really important to have someone whose opinion I can completely trust.
He just happens to be my brother-in-law.
Malcolm. Hi.
Hi, Oliver.
You all right?
Nice to meet you. Yeah, just about.
Very nice smell in here. You know, I always get a sense when I go into places if it's going to be good or not. And I'm getting a good feeling.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Everyone loves a fish cake.
Yes.
Biggest selling dish, right?
By a country mile.
How did I know that? No, I'm going to go and eat. I'll speak to you afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Great.
Oliver's years of experience in menu construction will help pinpoint why Malcolm's menu isn't making a profit and how to fix it.
The three things I look for in a menu are balance, provenance and price. Balance to make sure that the right dishes are on the menu for everybody's requirements. Provenance to make sure the chef has sourced good ingredients. And price to make sure they're suitable for the marketplace. You have to have a graduating price list.
Malcolm's varied menu offers a choice from Thai fish cakes to mushroom burgers and lamb fillets to falafels.
I do think there's a lot of different styles going on, and one of the things you always have to consider is restraint. I mean, do I need to do this? Because it just creates more jobs for yourself and just makes your life a lot tougher.
Main course dishes range from £15 to £32.
Can I get you anything else at all?
No, that's perfect.
Enjoy.
There's a lot of work gone into the lamb dish here. Also, there is a lot of lamb on this dish. You know, it's lunchtime. Am I really going to want to knock away such a huge portion of lamb? I don't think so. I'm going to have a little snooze afterwards. That lamb tastes delicious. Hey, Malcolm.
Oliver.
How are you?
Better now.
Good. I'm full. Me too. Lots of food. The lamb tastes good. I mean, it's a very big dish for the money, though. I mean.
Yeah, rich and generous, but we're
rich and generous. You can obviously cook.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a common problem. You know, the quality of the cooking doesn't really tell you whether the restaurant's going to be successful or not. Making a menu, making nice food, is a very small part of it, unless you know how much it costs. I don't think your problem is the cooking, but you know, we need to solve all those things.
Helping Malcolm calculate the cost of a meal will enable him to price his menu to guarantee making a profit on every dish.
Another double shift today, work the day and then work the evening. 2 fish cakes, 2 Thai curries. Good afternoon, the Nook and Cranny.
The 60-cover Nook and Cranny restaurant is positioned on a country lane junction.
We've got a village about a mile down the road that way. You've got a busy town centre about 5 miles that way. Based on where we are, we should be doing a lot better.
Though rural, it's not to say there isn't a local crowd to attract. And Oliver and I think the Nook and Cranny could be missing a backbone to the business with a lack of local returning customers. So a week later, we return with a strategy.
So, the plan today is that we're going to divide and conquer a little bit. Oliver?
We are going to go out and we are going to see all of your local customers and we're going to bring them in for dinner tonight. And also we're going to get their reaction, more importantly, to what their perception about the Nook and Cranny is.
If we want to embed this in the local community, we have to get the locals' opinions about what they want.
Better get ready for a busy service.
Oliver and Christine head just a mile down the road to a holiday park. Many of the potential 1,500 guests who holiday here nearly all year round must pass directly by the restaurant to get there.
Have you heard of a place called the Nook?
Nook and Cranny, yes, just down the road.
Have you been?
No, we haven't.
We're about to change all of that for you.
Tonight, we would like to invite you down to the restaurant and taste my husband's wonderful food. We're going to meet a bit later on, just down at the reception. We're going to drive down.
This challenge of inviting the locals will also be an opportunity for us to find the fault lines during a busy service.
I'm an old school chef. Whatever it is, whatever they choose to eat this evening, I'm all over it.
While Malcolm rises to the challenge, I want to see how much footfall passes by the restaurant. Last time I was here, it really struck me just how many cyclists, dog walkers, cars there were passing by. So, using an old-fashioned method, I'm going to count them. I never forget my grandfather, who was Charles Forte, told me that before he took on the Café Royal, which was his first really big site on Piccadilly, that he stood outside it with a clicker and literally counted the numbers of people who passed by to see if there was going to be enough passing trade to fill this establishment. There's another dog walker. In half an hour, 69 people go past. This is obvious a sign to me that we need to capture their attention, A, by better signage, B, by tempting them in with offers, and C, by reaching out to them. You know, you cannot just expect people to come because you're here. But for this evening, it's not taken Christine long to gather some local customers literally from on their doorstep.
Hello and welcome.
Making a profit on food is just a part of what makes a successful restaurant. So this challenge will help us find any other issues by scrutinising the service from back in the kitchen to front of house.
We have customers.
Hooray!
We have customers.
Do come in. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do come in. OK, so can I ask 4 of you to sit here, please? Do sit down, yeah?
Yes, yes, whatever.
There's quite a lot of people there. There's about 14, 16 people.
Let's bring it on.
OK, darling. Bye. My daughter unhappy about babysitting.
But just as service gets underway, Christine's attention is diverted from her duty by a family issue.
Already had it. Yes.
Lewis is already set up down there. What about if Maddie phones Nikki and says she's here?
Yeah, fine, fine, fine.
We've got beer on draft, if you'd like a pint.
But once childminding is sorted, it's not long before another problem rises to the surface.
Speckled hen.
I'll have a bottle of speckled hen.
Speckled hen. Do you know what? I'm sure I've said speckled hen and I'm sure we're out of that one. I'll double check. It might be London Pride instead. It's one of them.
No matter how good the food is, the front of house must be even better if you want locals to keep coming back. But though Christine delivers service with a smile, there's further cause for concern.
You've got free haddock and a calf's liver.
So, exactly. So how am I supposed to, how are you supposed to know who's having what?
Yeah, in that case I don't. So it works until a table or 2 and after that.
OK, so that's something we could work on, because you want a system, especially when it's busy and it isn't just you serving, you know.
Yeah.
So I should be able to look at that if they call service and rush in and put things down.
Free chips down.
If the front of house is to cater for an increase in customers, we'll need to tackle the restaurant layout. This is completely useless to all concerned. You know, what you need is somewhere where everything, where the menus are on the top, the cutlery is on the bottom, the glasses are underneath. You've got to be practical, assuming you're packed. You've got to do things to make your life easy, because actually all this is the boring bit. The clever bit is upselling, talking to your customers, making sure they have a nice time. Meanwhile, Oliver is keeping a close eye on the efficiency of the compact kitchen.
Is that the last order?
Yes. Ignore all the squiggles over it.
You know, the costings of the menu there, and portion size and menu structure is really important.
Yeah.
If Malcolm's food is to make money, we'll need to help him make a breakthrough with calculating the right food profit, which means there's enough margin between the cost of the ingredients and menu price of the meal.
I haven't scripted this set menu. I've kind of just, you know, so that's where it could be the colander effect, where I'm just sifting money out.
My general overview is Malcolm's great. He wants to cook great food. He's really enthusiastic. But, you know, he's going to have to rationalise his menus. We also have to structure the menu so he's doing less on the plate. I think it's very keen that it's a tiny kitchen, so it has to be a manageable menu.
I had the salmon and the sourdough with poached egg, and I found that combination of flavours lovely.
I cannot fault it at all. Really, really, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm not surprised the food is going down well. So why aren't the locals using their locals? Have you been here before?
No, this is our first time.
We've always passed it and never come in.
I mean, we've looked at it a few times, but sort of it's never looked open some of the time, so we've never bothered.
Good, thanks. There's real potential for the Nook and Cranny to be the local go-to restaurant. but tonight's test has dished up plenty of food for thought.
OK, so my opinion is there's not an enormous amount of experience in front of house. It needs to be much more streamlined, it needs to be much more efficient. It just feels a bit haphazard.
I think today what I found overwhelming is what I've learned. I've gone along with this for the ride thinking Manx food is what's important, Outback is, and I think today it just seems a lot of pressure.
I'm sorry, darling, I'm not meaning to make you cry. I'm trying to say this nicely, but this place needs a bit of shaking into shape. And I don't know that you really, you clearly don't really want to be the one to do it.
Oh, it's like I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I know, but the truth is you're going to have to rise again to fight tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the bloody next day until you either fold or this place becomes a success.
I think you have a narrow window of opportunity here.
Me too.
I think potentially this could be a great place. You have to give it a chance. I think the menu's got to be a lot smaller. Redo it in a much simpler, high-speed manner. You need local produce on there. You charge a better price for it. It just needs to be better and less.
I mean, the fact that Malc can cook is essential. But you have to get people here to understand that he can cook, because otherwise you're cooking for the angels.
We now know there is a local market out there. We just need to tap into it with a new profitable menu, a clearer identity, and a strategy to encourage a loyal returning crowd.
This is Malcolm's dream. It's not mine, but I'm thinking I've got to probably fully jump across, especially for the next few months, and actually learn to maybe love this place as much, definitely not as much as you, but maybe a little more than what I currently do.
I'm helping the Nook and Cranny, where Chef Malcolm's dream of owning a successful restaurant to provide for wife Christine
In a minute you wanted toast.
and their 7 children
You've got to wait here. Make sure the door doesn't close.
has turned sour.
You can't make decisions, you can't fix it all when you're just absolutely broken, tired.
I've called on the expertise of restaurateur Oliver Peyton, who's spotted the unprofitable menu is unbalanced with too much on the plate. But Malcolm's been quick to start making amends.
The immediate feedback I got back was that there's too much stove work for the starters, so it's too much cooking. It needs to be out a lot quicker, a lot simpler, let the ingredients do the talking. It's just, keep it simple so you can quickly fire those out and then have a bit more time to work on the stove work for the main courses.
It's encouraging to hear Malcolm now thinking more practically and with business in mind. But there's a lot more to do. So a week later, I'm back.
I think the challenge today is to really move things along. I think we need to tackle the kind of confusing name. I want to get Malcolm to start thinking about his food more and about his customers.
But first, I want to check in on Christine, having given her some tough love last time we met.
So are you feeling a bit more positive about everything?
Certainly more positive. For me, I was desperate for some direction. I was desperate for us to have the courage of our conviction with what we want to create. So the fact that we are off and we're moving forward is great for me.
Good, I'm so pleased. I know that there's still quite a lot to do, but I think getting the initial elements right is so important because you can't drive a business forward unless you're completely confident about the product and about how you're presenting yourself. Then we need to market, then we need to fill the restaurant.
Well, Christine buys my plan. Now I just need the locals to buy into the restaurant.
So, the big conversation we're going to have now is I think it's time to change our name from the Nook and Cranny. It sounds very old-fashioned. It sounds like a tea room.
It needs to be a lot more descriptive.
A new name will help draw attention and promote a clear message to the surprising amount of passing trade I counted with my clicker.
What do you think about calling it the Nook and then a descriptive?
But you'd want the Nook Eating House. So you can see a logo almost beyond that.
To work with the new name, we'll make over the tea room-styled interior and redesign that haphazard layout.
First of all, let me see the menu as it stands.
And using Oliver's feedback, Malcolm's been giving his menu a makeover too.
I really like the sound of cauliflower soup with curry oil and parmesan. Chalk Stream Farm trout, yummy, but still very much in your vein. But it feels a lot more curated as a menu.
Does it?
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
amazing.
This is good, yeah.
The difference.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that we could still win on, that you're not doing enough there, is the seasonality thing.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to put products on that are seasonal and have a very good GP for you.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to tackle next. So, get your wellies on. We're going to go and see Farmer Giles.
We've already established Malcolm's food profit is suffering at almost half the necessary 70%. But using the right produce, he could keep costs down while maximising his profits.
Seasonal fruit and veg is so cheap because there's a glut of it. It's a really good selling point.
Absolutely.
It's for regular customers, and they can be guaranteed to see something new on the menu.
And very, very local.
Very local, exactly.
A whopping 80% of consumers think it's important to buy locally sourced food. So we've come just a mile down the road to meet farmer Mark Harris.
We are trying to formulate a new kind of menu that emphasises the seasonal and local produce.
OK. We do a lot of fruit, as in strawberries and raspberries, which are seasonal.
Are you growing pumpkins?
We're growing pumpkins also.
So if we wanted to buy a couple of pumpkins from you, what kind of prices are you charging?
Somewhere around about 30 pence a pound direct out. Trade-wise, it would be a bit cheaper, probably 15 to 20 pence a pound.
So it's cheap.
You know, it's a very cheap way of something that you can do quite a lot with.
Can we go and get some?
I think you should take a couple of smaller ones and a couple of larger ones.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, like...
That's a good-looking one,
That's
They're a bit muddy, but...
It's all right. Don't mind a bit of mud.
You know, you get a vibe and you get excited, you know, upon seeing this kind of thing, rather than just your produce from, you know, potentially thousands of miles away. So, yeah, this is really where it's at. Of course, it's exciting also knowing that I'm actually going to save money. Then, in turn, I might actually start making some. So, you know, who wouldn't be excited by that?
I'm thrilled Malcolm's feeling inspired, because it's back to the kitchen to see if he can turn our cut-price produce into a profitable dish.
Why don't you try and make something like a soup? Something not too complicated.
Yep, sounds good.
Generous, hearty.
Yes.
Local, seasonal. Making you lots of money.
Absolutely.
And then I get to eat it for lunch. How does
Win-win.
that sound? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, great.
Cardamom.
OK, so let's assume each pumpkin costs £2 a pumpkin. You can make quite a lot of soup with £2 worth of pumpkin.
Yeah.
You put something like that on the menu for £4 or £5. I mean, you could do soup and a roll, couldn't you, for £5?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be quids in.
Using local ingredients in season will definitely help Malcolm make money.
That is delicious.
But we're far from any taste of success just yet. Though that could begin with a strategy to build loyalty with the locals.
Why don't you do an offer and say, we're going to do on a Tuesday night, this is the first example of our seasonal supper club. Ideally, you do a menu for, I don't know, £35 or £30 or something like that, something reasonable that involves 3 courses, seasonal produce, being clever, doing something like this to start with, and a rhubarb something to finish with, because we all know that there's lots of it around, so you make a decent GP on it. And then say, please let us know if you'd like to subscribe to the supper club.
Challenging them to set up a supper club with a fixed price set menu could create regular local business in the long run.
They seem much happier than they were last time I was here. I mean, I'm under no illusions. Malcolm's designed a menu but hasn't costed it out. And we've still got to see them fill the place.
Hello.
A few days later, to gain some inspiration, Malcolm and Christine book a table at the Secret Supper Society hosted by Jules and Nick.
After you. After you.
One of the first in the UK, 8 years later, their home restaurant events are booked up months in advance.
I hope you all have a lovely evening. Can make yourselves at home and don't hesitate to ask for anything. Thank you.
A supper club offering a set menu could create a regular event for the Nooks locals and be a backbone to the business. And with it being prepaid, Malcolm will be able to budget accordingly and make money.
All you've got to do is tap into the people that enjoy the experience. They will maybe book a table of 2, and the next time they come back, they'll then book a table of 6 or 8.
Yeah.
We came here for the first time in 2011. The environment is so warm and so friendly and inviting, and we just loved it, and we've come back time and again.
It's given me a real insight anyway, that whole personal touch, the inviting feeling, going out, speaking to people, not being that hidden man behind the scenes in the kitchen. So we would like you to join us on All Hallows Eve for our very first Secret Supper Club. This will be a chance for us to showcase some of the best local ingredients in season right now.
Inspired by the Secret Supper Club, Malcolm has wasted no time designing the flyers for his first supper club with a fully costed seasonal menu.
So these are the new menus I've been working on with Oliver. So I've got some spiced pumpkin soup with curry oil and toasted seeds. We've embraced Isle of Wight tomatoes. Beetroots are in season at the moment, so we've got them, so we're not oversized and overcomplicating, and you know, really focus on doing every dish really well.
With plans for their supper club underway, new signs for the Nook Eating House help promote a clear message. And the pub-like carpet that confused their identity is being replaced with a more appropriate flooring.
Hello, young man. Look at this.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
Are you happy?
Delighted. I can't even get my head around it, yeah.
So we've done the floor, we've done the lights. Now I've just got to put the place back together. Right, take this end. One thing I'm going to tackle is a kind of practicality. And the second thing I'm going to tackle is trying to make it flow a bit better. It'll be practical to have it here, and it will separate off the room a bit. So there was one table here, wasn't there?
Having previously seen a haphazard front of house, this new layout will help simplify and aid efficiency of service.
So that can be at this end. I mean, this already looks quite nice.
Yeah.
I think.
The dated carpeted room has been transformed using wood flooring, which is cost-effective and practical, lending a warm and cosy feel. It makes the perfect comfortable dining space for customers to linger longer and spend more money.
It's incredible so far. I love the little touches with the rosemary in the glasses. Really, really good.
I think this is really exciting. I think it's so much fresher, cosier.
I'm quite pleased. I love it when a plan comes together. This place is looking great.
It's now all down to Malcolm and Christine to see if they can impress a local crowd with their first ever supper club. Two months ago, I was called in to help the Nook and Cranny, a failing restaurant piling pressure on the lives of owners Malcolm and Christine. But our plan to start a regular supper club could bring in a steady, guaranteed income if they can pull it off tonight.
Got a load of these fancy pies to make. I think once I've got them kind of constructed and built, I'll be a lot less stressed.
Sign looks good. That sign looks very good.
Well, it looks better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks open. It feels local. I think it looks amazing.
Have a look. Is the menu changed?
No, it's the same menu. I should go and have a little chat to Malcolm.
OK, thanks, darling.
Not best of starts, I would say. And it's sad because we're so excited about this evening. Hopefully we'll regain some ground as we go along.
Malcolm, what is this?
Oh, they're not out. They're not supposed to be there.
Can we just go and look at the room and look what we're doing tonight?
Absolutely.
What pathetic excuse have you come up with for the fact that the menus haven't changed?
In my defence, I was waiting for the logo. I've got that now. I then need to get that to the printers. Then I can get my menu sorted.
I definitely want some printed menus.
Come on.
Yes.
With or without the logo. How many people do we have coming tonight?
35.
Is your menu costed?
Absolutely. We might actually make some money tonight.
But not nearly as much as they could be making, it seems.
They bring in their own booze tonight, so it's bring your own.
Are they?
Bring your own?
Yes.
What sort of business is that?
Well, this is what we learned from the supper club. This is
your licence. It's not bring your own.
Well, we thought that was a nice touch, but obviously
yes,
not.
it's a very nice touch for the customers,
Bring your
but
own.
not a great touch for you. It's quite easy for two people to drink a bottle of wine between them, and it's a lost opportunity for revenue.
It's an error that means he can't make a bit more money, so let's hope Malcolm's sums add up properly on the menu.
Well, I broke the habit of a lifetime recently and actually sat down and costed it.
Right.
Took simple, cheap ingredients, decided to use those as the base for the dishes, so I'm obviously saving money. We've got some pumpkins that arrived yesterday for our arancini. We managed to get some local ham and chicken for my pies.
All of the great meals I've had in my life have relied upon the chef having a relationship with the local produce.
Yeah.
You're going to build a lot of loyalty, both locally and as a food destination, when that comes to maturity. I really believe that.
Yeah, I do now.
Good evening, Leo and Fiona. Come on in, Leo. Hiya, Matt.
Have you seen their new menus? They're just starting their new lunch and dinner menus for
We
next
saw the
week.
name change outside. What's burning, man?
How are you guys? All
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I think we're just going to need a little bit of communication, so I'll try and get hold of Chris in a sec, so we can try and determine start time.
Unlike Nick and Jules's secret supper club, Malcolm has not made his evening a prepaid event. And with one group of diners yet to arrive...
They're the 5 that haven't turned up.
Having already budgeted for them, Malcolm could lose money.
Take money up front for a supper club because it's a sales event. So essentially, you are pre-ordering a certain amount of food, you're going to have a certain amount of staff in, you know how many people are coming, you know what the profit margin is. It's business. You have to take the money up front.
The delay has led to a further problem.
It's nearly 7:30. I'm very keen for some food to start coming out.
Our plan was for tonight to be the start of a loyal returning customer base. But their months of hard work could quickly go to waste if Malcolm and Christine buckle under the pressure.
It is looking like people are desperate for something to eat.
Oh, this is f***ing time to perfection, isn't it? For sake. No, mate, no. Like that.
Fine.
I think it's the nerves that are getting the better of me, but I just want it to go right.
I think we start with the starters.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
If I just rudely lean across you there. Oh.
Do excuse me stretching. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Are you all okay for drinks?
But with Christine now starting to handle the service with confidence...
Helped clear up then?
And with Malcolm in control...
Can somebody stand there and get those folded so our second wave is decidedly quicker?
The supper club is back on track.
They're hot, darling. That's why I'm doing it like this.
It's an encouraging sight. A dining room full of local customers enjoying the new local seasonal menu. And Malcolm enjoying a decent profit on the food.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, you're too kind. We've learnt that it's all about seasonality and local produce, so I hope you get on board. That's our mission statement, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the food so far. Thank you. Pleasure.
So, all good? Everyone happy?
Very well. Yes,
We've had a very good evening. It was great to sit with people and meet people, and the food was, I have to say, was excellent.
It's a step towards regular, guaranteed, profitable evenings, and a step closer to Malcolm's dream of owning a successful restaurant becoming reality.
How do you think tonight went?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Hard work, but I enjoyed it.
What do you think, darling?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
There was a really genuine smile on your face, which I haven't seen before. I saw you interacting with customers in a completely different way, which I loved. Everything that's still to be ironed out is structural. I mean, for example, you say that dinner is going to be served at a certain time, you start serving.
Definitely.
Take money in advance for the supper club. Because, you know, the way you make money is that there's no food wasted. Don't bring your own bottle. Make sure that you upsell.
Do you know what? But once we now acknowledge there are holes, it's that process of filling them.
It's important that, you know, you see this as an acorn and that you see the opportunity that's coming up. Because I love that new menu.
Yeah.
Great. Good luck.
When we first met Malcolm and Christine, they were at rock bottom. But we've helped work through the problems, and now Malcolm has transformed himself from great chef to budding restaurateur, with Christine in full support.
My taste of a restaurant is would I come back, and the answer is yes, I would. I mean, I have a lot of faith in Malcolm's cooking. It's great.
I've never seen Christine so positive. And I think she seems enthusiastic about the whole process now.
They've got a great product here.
And they are both looking ahead to the future very positively to make this place work.
So it's our festive night in at the Nook this evening. We've got a small, intimate crowd. Looks really good. I'm looking forward to a great night tonight.
What do you like about the restaurant, Will?
Playing with the phone.
Playing with the phone? You're not supposed to play with the phone, are you?
This time, I'm called to help an independent city restaurant beginning to feel the squeeze.
This is
quiet for
Friday.
We need to be around 30 to 40 lunches, whereas today we've done 14.
In 2006, Ivan and Faye opened the Oddfellows, a 50-cover gastropub, serving traditional food with a 21st century twist.
It was one of the first proper gastropubs in the city when suddenly gastropubs became all the rage. So really we had a kind of a monopoly for a while. And we were the first of our kind and people really loved us. But now we're faced with a high street full of chains and more are coming.
Within a mile radius of us here at the pub, there is a minimum of 50 other eateries, cafes, bars, restaurants.
I absolutely love Exeter. I've seen it change so much over the years. 2004, my mum bought a hotel down here, not very far away from the city. And in 2007, suddenly they started all this development. With this number of people on the streets, with the success of Exeter, you would think that having a food business here is a no-brainer. You would think.
But the city's growing number of restaurants has produced intense competition, now putting the Oddfellows under the cosh.
Up to year 6, we ended up having a 10 to 15% net profit. The last couple of years, it was about 2%, and the year just gone, we made a loss.
When your lunches are very, very quiet, you're constantly doubting whether you're doing the right thing, whether your offering is correct. It's make or break at the moment.
I was really nervous this morning. I was a bit like, oh my God, it's D-Day day.
I am looking forward to Alex arriving because Ivan and I are so immersed in our business. Sometimes I think you can't see the wood for the trees.
We're not perfect, and that's why we need some help.
Getting this place into shape to try and crack the competition won't be easy, and there's no time to lose.
Hello, hello. Morning. Hi. How are you? Very nice to meet you.
Good, I'm Faye.
Hi.
Hi, Alex, I'm Ivan.
Ivan.
Welcome to the Oddfellows.
So how long have you had it?
11 years.
Living the dream?
Oh, yes. Always.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ish.
yeah. Good days, bad days, great weeks, crap weeks. This industry is, it can be a lot of fun and it also can be really tough. So there's still love and there's still joy, but it's getting tougher and it's getting tougher year on year.
We're going to have to work out what the problem
exactly.
is,
Yeah,
and
sure.
that's going to involve some criticism,
That's
inevitably.
okay. Yeah. We can take constructive criticism.
We'll have a coffee and sit down, but first of all, can I just have a look
talk?
at them?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Okay,
Sure.
great.
When we first opened, we didn't have children and we had fun. We had lots of fun.
Yeah.
You know, it was hedonistic. We partied. We had to watch our pennies, but we had money back then. We had disposable income. I can't even remember what that's like now. Kitchen it's like a theatre. It's really, really open. Now I think it just feels a bit grown up and it's a bit heavy. There's lots of responsibility, you know, and when you start looking at your money thinking, this isn't really doing as well as we would like it to, for one reason or another, then it starts to make you question what you're doing.
This is your daily menu?
This is our lunchtime daily menu, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite meaty.
I don't know, I don't think... Is it that meaty? The mains are, I guess.
Mains are,
yeah.
The mains definitely are. Nice! Gosh, it's another huge room.
Yeah, it is.
I don't mind working hard, but I'd actually like to spend some time with my wife, my children.
It's a really nice room.
Thank you.
I want to prove that I can do this, and at the moment there's times when I feel that I'm not doing it very well. It's an element of survival.
Before I arrived, I looked over the Oddfellows accounts, which quickly highlighted the restaurant's trading weak spot. You obviously struggle with customers at lunchtime.
God, yeah, that's our worst time, absolutely. And actually, when we opened, people really enjoyed us being here, and we were very busy during lunchtime and evenings.
As soon as Princess Hay opened up, it affected our lunchtime trade there. And then instantly. From going to doing 30 to 40 lunches down to 10.
Making the Oddfellows competitive again will be a tough challenge. And if I'm to try and help secure its future, I'm going to need an expert helping hand. I have asked Oliver Peyton to come and help me on the food side.
Yeah.
Oliver has more than 20 years' experience running restaurants and constructing menus, so his expertise will be priceless. He knows an awful lot about food, and he's my brother-in-law.
Let's eat.
Cool. Unbeknown to any of the Oddfellows staff, a few days ago, I sent Oliver along with some local food bloggers to feedback on a midweek lunchtime. I've got him to give some comments to me.
Hi, Alex. I'm on my way to Oddfellows. I'm on a pretty unassuming street, which is where Oddfellows is on. Going with the bloggers, we're going to check it out, tell you what we think. But I gotta say, it looks pretty quiet. But I'll let you know. Well, we had a very strange start. We came in, we sat down on our own. The greeting was very poor. No one's really serving us. It's taken us 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes to place our order. It's lunchtime, you know.
A bit quiet. I have to whisper a little bit.
I'm not going to put on weight with that salad, that's for sure.
So annoying.
Yeah. The menu needs a real complete revamp. In my start, I couldn't even see it. It was like a garnish. Plus, I mean, it took forever. I stopped counting how long it took. It's over an hour and a half.
I don't know if I'm shocked or if I'm just really disappointed.
Well, it's frustrating.
Because in my heart, I really feel I didn't think that would happen here.
Oliver's lunch experience has surprised Ivan and Faye, exposing a slow service and an unsuitable menu. That's his impression. I think the thing that was really shocked him was it was so quiet and they had bad service.
We drum it into them at quiet times. It's important that you do a lot of cleaning, that you make...
Yeah, you don't want to be paying someone for just doing
Exactly,
nothing.
So that's something we've really drummed into them. But if they're doing that and then neglecting the customers that we are having in, then that's fatal. That's not who we are.
It means what we're doing isn't working.
We're not keeping on top of the people that we employ to act in our absence, because we're at home dealing with children or, you know, blah, 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 then that's where the missing links are, isn't it, I think, as well.
What are your roles in the business?
My role has evolved over the years because we've had two little ones. But I guess, yes, I was always front of house. I tend to do staff training. I tend to do social media, marketing, that kind of stuff.
Are you good at doing that?
I get by. I wouldn't say I'm amazing.
I
use what skills I have to do what I feel I need to do. Yeah. I think I could always learn more, definitely.
I'm more the financial side, looking after stocks, looking after purchasing.
He never stops. He never, ever stops. From the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep, he's literally Oddfellows, 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 Oddfellows.
It's a familiar story. Owners overloading themselves with the duties of running the restaurant, with Ivan appearing to have taken on a lion's share. The question is whether he's using his time effectively. So I brought you out here because I just wanted you to look at your place and try and imagine that you haven't seen it before. I get the impression that taking on so much responsibility has meant Ivan is no longer able to see the bigger picture. And I think that you're not really showing off what's special about you from the outside. Yeah. Your A-boards aren't very nice. No. I hate the coffee roastery sign, and it's all a bit cluttered. I think that one of my things is going to be to try and give it a bit more curbside appeal.
Perfect.
Because you want someone to come along and be excited about coming here.
rather than think, oh my gosh, dare I step over the threshold?
Yeah.
It's a funny combination of kind of, you're not sure if it's a pub or a restaurant.
To stand out from the crowd and compete for lunchtime customers, we'll need to declutter and clean up those mixed messages to get the Oddfellows looking like a place you'd like to eat.
My first impressions of mixed. I like Faye and Ivan, but the truth is, they need a bit of a zhuzh. I wonder how much they've actually changed, how much they've transformed the place in 11 years. You need to have fire in your belly. This is going to be a big challenge.
I've been called to help the Oddfellows. Owners Ivan and Faye are struggling to compete with the bigger restaurants to pull in the lunchtime crowd, which is leaving them stretched.
This is Ivan all over, actually. You'll be in the middle of doing something and you'll find him doing something really random like this.
We had some maintenance people in and, yeah, it didn't really work. So I ended up actually redoing the job on some of the stuff. If I'm going to do it, I do it pretty well. 90% of our time is taken up. Paperwork, admin, bill paying.
Troubleshooting, problem solving, repairing things, checking the bank accounts.
The couple have seen midweek lunch trade plummet, crippling any chance of making a profit. Along with acclaimed restaurateur Oliver Peyton, I've come up with a strategy to kickstart a revival.
Oh, there's an email come through from Alex.
Hello, Ivan and Faye. The next time I return, I will be with Oliver, and we would like you both to prepare a menu for lunch with 1 meat and 1 vegetarian option. The meals must include food and drink for £10 or less, and you should prepare to cater for 20 to 30 lunch covers.
The chain restaurants see success targeting shoppers on the high street, but we think there is a lunch crowd right on Ivan and Faye's doorstep.
Please keep service times in mind as we'll be reaching out to the local business community. So, business community, no worries.
The challenge is upon us.
I don't think that's much of a challenge,
The Oddfellows sits just off the high street in a district full of office workers. We think this could be an untapped market, providing the food offer is right and can be served within an hour's lunch break.
Hello, good morning, Faye. Hi, darling.
Nice to see you.
I've got no hidden camera today.
What I want to see is whether we can revive a lunch trade.
Yeah.
And I thought the best way to do it is to see whether we can get people in, what they think of the food, whether it's a price they want, whether you're still making a profit from it, all of those things. We know that you were fully involved in the business to start with, on the floor. We know that that has become more of a managerial role. We'd both like to see you back in the midst of it.
Can you just give me 10 minutes to find out where all the buttons are on the till again?
Yeah. So we've decided to divide and conquer, and Oliver will take the back and I'll take the front of house.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go and try and find some people to drag in here for lunch, which I'm sure won't be that hard.
No.
So what are you going to do? You're going to go knock on the doors of local businesses?
Yeah.
Literally?
Yeah.
All right.
Faye seems sceptical of my persuasive powers, but I'm convinced there could be a lunch market out there.
First and obvious place to try is the estate agents opposite. Hi. Hello, I'm Alex Polizzi. I'm working with the Oddfellows down there. Have you guys ever been?
I've never been, no.
Why not?
I'm not sure. I didn't actually even know it was a restaurant in there.
Oh, you are kidding me.
I thought it was a bar.
It seems the local office workers too agree with my observation of the Oddfellows looking just like a pub. Back in the kitchen, Oliver is keen to know what Faye thinks will be suitable for their £10 lunch menu.
As they say, what's cooking? What's on the menu?
So today we've got a minute steak with a shallot puree, bacon and thyme butter, and just a few pea shoots and a fondant potato, sorry. Vegetarian dish we have is a halloumi burger with a sweet garlic chutney and a sun-dried tomato salad.
What did you consider when you were choosing these dishes?
Popularity, the kind of things that people like to eat. Steak is obviously one of the most popular dishes. As British, we like steak, don't we? And then halloumi is a personal favourite of mine.
Do you think it's appropriate for a lunchtime crowd?
Yeah, I do. I think it'd be interesting to see how these dishes go today.
You know, I'm fascinated to see how they go.
I think I'll try some of these.
There are an estimated 750 office workers along this road alone. if we can develop our strategy to attract them during the week,
so come and help us. Thank you.
It could be an answer to their lacklustre lunchtime trade.
Good, that's a few more people. Slowly mounting up, but we need more than that.
All right, guys, Alex is already drumming up business, so I will see you on the other side. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Okay, so there's 8 of you. I've got a large table 3. Do you want to follow me? We'll get you some drinks.
It's nice. A few more people than I'm used to seeing in here.
And I might take your food order if you're ready with that. Yeah.
Today is an opportunity to see if the Oddfellows can be a quick turnaround place to eat at lunchtime and cater for the office crowd.
2 steaks. How do they want the steaks cooked, chef?
All the minute steaks go out as a medium unless requested.
It's also a chance to see if Ivan and Faye understand what customers want and to reignite the fire in their bellies.
What they are good with is people, and I think seeing them interact with their customers does really show off their skill set.
Remind me where chips is. Where's chips? Don't go away, Ben.
So I'm waiting on another one on there. Is that ready?
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going fine, I think.
What about a bit of upselling? Go on, see if you can flog them another beer. Can you flog them another beer?
Oh yeah, of course I can. I've been doing this for a while. Don't patronise.
Go on, I'm not patronising it.
How long on the next 4 minute steaks for table 5?
This really feels like something they haven't done in a very long time.
Do you need more beer? You look like a man who needs more beer.
And please, go on in, darling.
Push on, come on. You knew it was coming, and here it is. Yeah. It's arrived.
This was the lunches that we used to do. So we just carry it on, really.
It's great to see Ivan's enthusiasm as he handles the busy service with ease. But have the steak and halloumi £10 dishes met customers' expectations?
What do you normally eat at lunchtime? A salad?
Sandwich or soup or something like that. A salad.
I think that whole £10 meal deal was just not right. You know, the dishes aren't correct.
How did you think it went?
I think it went well.
I think the first thing here is, to me, it's the menu at lunchtime. There's an obvious demand for healthier food at lunchtime. Yeah.
We've got the feedback, so now we know that actually the Oddfellows needs to start thinking a little bit more about people wanting to eat a bit more healthily.
You have to change the menus. What I thought was amazing was you are amazing hosts. You like people, people like you.
No, it was really fun to see you guys interact with people.
I think there's an amount of energy which you're going to have to put in now on the floor, which is going to take you away from being together or doing family stuff together and things like that, which I think has to be done to compete with what's going on around there.
One question I have when we're talking about spending a bit more time on the shop floor is that you need a certain amount of admin time, and that seems to be at least 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, you can't keep on top of everything.
Because I'm juggling money. I'm trying to keep the business going, but actually not being in the business.
I've seen him in tears. I've seen him white with stress. I've seen him not be able to eat. And I always get upset about it because I don't know. You have decided that this is what is most important. And if you're saying that you're going to get back on the shop floor, I don't know how we're going to cope or how you're going to cope.
I don't know. I don't know, Faye. And is it that I've created a mountain?
Maybe.
I think.
But that is probably, if you can sort that out with him, then you would probably crack half of this business.
We're going to have to unpick this.
It's not easy seeing Faye upset, but hardly surprising. This is the business they've successfully built from scratch. So along with developing a plan to combat quiet lunchtimes, we'll need to tackle the effectiveness of how Ivan and Faye spend their time running the business.
The challenge ahead is terrifying. I mean, let's face it, they've had a long time to get into this rut, and it's going to take a bit to shake them out of it, and there's no overnight solutions.
But at least they can make a start by using the lunch test feedback to begin developing a new lunchtime menu.
What did you want with that?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I need to do a little bit of research. I need to see what's in season. When we spent a day with Oliver here, he suggested that we should make some changes to our lunch menu. At the moment,
He didn't sort of
he
say
didn't really give us an
exactly
idea.
what,
No,
though.
he hasn't really given us an idea of what he feels would be a good direction for the Oddfellows to go in terms of our lunch trade. So I'm kind of fumbling around a bit in the dark at the moment.
Keen to get on the right track, Faye hopes a call to Oliver will shed some light.
Hello.
Hi, Oliver, it's Faye at the Oddfellows.
Hey, Faye. So what's occurring?
You mentioned that you felt we should have some healthier options on, some more lady-friendly options, less heavy. Appropriate for those people who might be having
A speedy lunch to get back to work. But I'm struggling to
interpret what is it you're asking of me, I think.
To write a lunch menu with a salad on it and a few bits and pieces is not a big deal in my mind.
If I'm really honest with you, I think I've misunderstood the task.
OK, so have you got an idea about how you would like to run the restaurant going forward?
Of course I have a vision, because it's what we do all the time. This is what I don't understand.
I'm finding hard.
All I'm asking you to do...
So I'm not, you know, I'm getting really upset.
And I'm going to call it there.
The business is their life and livelihood, so Faye's emotions are understandable. But to avoid negative feelings, Oliver calls back to clear the air.
Hello.
Faye, it's Oliver.
Hello, Oliver.
Hi. I really want to help you.
I appreciate that. I do. You know, the reasons why.
It doesn't matter.
I've
It doesn't
feeling the way I
matter.
feel are much more complicated than a quick telephone conversation.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. All that matters is I'm here to help. Don't worry about the reasons why.
That's great. Thank you for that.
All right. Great.
All right.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Oliver. I'll talk
Bye.
to you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Two people for dinner. Let me just try and find a pen. There's the pen.
I've been called to the Oddfellows, where owners Ivan and Faye are battling poor profits with quiet lunchtimes and intense competition, which has left them exhausted and chasing their tails.
When we first started, we were the only place near the high street where you could get a really good lunch. But now there are 25 chain eateries on the high street.
With the busy family life behind the scenes and running the restaurant, it's stretching the couple to the max. To reinvigorate Ivan and Faye and provide some inspiration, I've brought them to London.
Today is all about rebuilding Ivan and Faye's confidence. I feel like last time Oliver and I were in Exeter, we battered them. Partly because we're so passionate about what we do, but also because we want to remind them why they got into this in the first place. We want to revive the passion, and I think they've lost their way a bit, Ivan and Faye. Thank you. And I'd like to encourage them to discover it again. Hi, darling.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Mwah. Take a seat.
Thank you.
Very much.
So, the reason I brought you to London is because this is the place that the idea of the gastropub began.
Yeah.
You know, 26 years ago.
Yep.
There was no such thing as a gastropub. I want to remind you of the fact that independent restaurants can work and how they do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring you here to some places who are nailing it.
Yeah.
Okay. There are plenty of excellent gastropubs in London, but I've brought Ivan and Faye to what's been credited as the very first one, the Eagle.
So can I ask the first question? You're still full, you're still really busy. How do you continue to get customers?
By being ourselves, I think. By being really good food, good value for money. We're just into it. We love it, and I think that's terribly important. You've got to love what you're doing.
Michael Belbin established the Eagle 26 years ago. As the owner, he knows the importance of being the face of the business.
Are you still here all the time?
I'm here more than I should be, I think.
Is there anything you'd have changed over the years?
No. We knew exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to serve really good, high-quality food in really scruffy surroundings, because scruffy surroundings are not intimidating.
I completely agree with you, actually. That's kind of how we feel too. You've seen 26 years of success, so there is merit to sticking to your guns and being who you are.
How much does the food change, Michael?
I've looked at old menus. It's always changed a lot. So our first chef was a Brazilian, so we got lots of Brazilian ideas from him. We've got a chef who's just joined us and has introduced us to Eastern Mediterranean food.
Your menu basically goes on who's cooking.
So you've morphed along the way.
Taking their family background of how they've been brought up to put that into the menu.
Yeah.
Which, do you find that brings more passion to what they're doing?
Oh, there's huge passion.
2 smoked salmon and scrambled eggs, please.
Next, I want to introduce them to the new kid on the block. Award-winning chef Jessie Dunford-Wood opened the Parlour Gastropub 4 years ago.
So this is the heartbeat of the business. We do lots of butchery, we make lots of breads, we make everything from chocolate, smoked salmon and all sorts of things like that.
Jessie knows the importance of regular local customers and how to engage them.
Accessibility is a really key point in order to keep a broad range of the community happy.
Are you here all the time, Jessie?
Yeah, that's another unfortunate part of it.
Just like Michael, Jessie is a regular face within the running of his business, especially at lunchtimes, which can be extremely busy thanks to some clever yet simple marketing.
Where are all these people who are here at lunch from?
We have quite strong links with a few local companies. But on a Tuesday, the guys in the office, they email the weekly menus, so they get circulated amongst the powerful people within the company. And when they want to book a table at Parlour, they can call ahead 15 minutes or 3 hours ahead saying, we'll be here at 1 o'clock. This is our pre-order for 18 people.
No time to waste.
And they get their hour break and they get their food immediately when they walk in the door.
That's a great idea, actually, to email out the menus. I like that.
It's great to see Faye enthusiastic and sounding positively open as to how they can evolve their business.
Today was all about inspiring Faye and Ivan. They need to be enthused and passionate and selling themselves and their place in a much more effective way from what they've achieving at the moment. And I think bringing them somewhere like this shows them that it is kind of within their grasp. It's not a million miles away. And just reminding them too that there's people who are sacrificing and living a life just like they are and who can still manage to enjoy it. Well, that was pretty inspiring, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Very nice place.
Good, so it was worth coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
With Ivan and Faye clearly upbeat, finally I want to see how effective the Oddfellows is with social media.
After you, Faye.
To maximise the opportunity of engaging with any locals, a strong social presence will be vital. And the person who can help is social media specialist Krista Booker.
What I'd like you to do is tell me what your company is, but write it in keywords.
A recent survey by a well-known chain restaurant discovered that 30% of 18 to 35-year-olds would avoid a restaurant if their Instagram presence wasn't strong enough.
So, independent.
British food.
British food. And I like this thing about the character. So let's see if your social channels represent that.
We've done all this with professionals before, and no one's done this.
Okay.
Oh, do we have to look at the website?
Sorry.
It's very corporate. Oh, I hate it now.
But you can see immediately how, you know, this idea we had in our heads, now when you look at that, it just doesn't have that warmth. Okay, Instagram. People don't look at Instagram to read words. They want to see beautiful pictures. I have an example here of a restaurant, but you can see that they've stuck to a style. Consistent. It's consistent. They use the same colours. Just from looking there, you can imagine what it will be like.
Pretty.
It's really pretty.
So the photography is really key, isn't it?
Yeah.
With 18 to 35-year-olds reportedly spending 5 days a year browsing food images on Instagram alone, making sure Ivan and Faye get the best out of their photos will be key.
What you could do here, this is really good for slow motion because you're really showing him like the wok skill of it.
I really like both Ivan and Faye. I've kind of enthused and revived them because I felt that they were very flat when I first met them. And the most important thing is for them to feel like this is still something they want to do, because this isn't a job you can do half-heartedly.
I like the last one, that one's good.
I'm gonna certainly look at having a more consistent thread through the social media images and things like that, and how to target people and stuff. So yeah, it's been interesting. It's been a learning curve.
Today has been a great opportunity for Ivan and Faye to take a step back and reimagine their business. Now we need to take a similar, fresh look at their working day. Having already established Ivan is stretching himself thin with all his duties running the business, I've set them a task to make them start thinking productively about his priorities.
Firstly, write a list of all the tasks that Ivan gets involved with in his role at Oddfellows on a weekly basis. How long have you got? Place each task under the heading of A, B or C, assuming that A, jobs for the owner, B, day-to-day, medium jobs, open up, cleaning, maintenance, C, nice to have done, small jobs, touch up paint, changing displays, etc. Okay, let's do your A jobs first.
Organise meetings with accountants.
Menu development, yeah.
Menu stuff on there. Inquiries.
Oh yeah, ordering.
I did the ordering, so that goes under B. Then supplier inquiries. That again goes under B. Got rid of all the old £1 coins.
Yes. What's the next thing? Now rip up all the C's.
These tasks are not an immediate priority.
I would really like to repair the latch on the fire escape. That would make me happy. I'd like to go up in the loft and have a bit of a sort out up there.
These jobs are luxuries if they have the spare time, but non-essential and not worth Ivan's limited hours.
Now, taking the B column, how much time do you spend on these tasks per week? Add that figure onto the items. So, organised repairmen, that's at least 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
Suppliers, that's at least 2 hours a week.
Answering inquiries.
Oh, hours.
That's like 2 hours a day at the moment.
So let's put 10. There you go. Do the same for the A column, thank you. Okay. Booking events.
That can take up to 4 hours a week.
By taking just an hour to analyse everything he's been doing, it's shown there are a lot of jobs that he needs to delegate.
I'm earning my money there.
Yeah.
The task B's is basically saying they should be somebody else's job.
Yeah.
Freeing up those jobs will enable Ivan to spend more time at the restaurant, which should bring real momentum back to the business.
Last time we caught up, our website wasn't that good. So we've been working on a new website. So this is showing how it opens and reads on a phone. That was the thing that our website was so old, it wasn't compatible with mobiles or tablets.
And it's not just Ivan who's feeling inspired. Faye has been giving the lunch menu a makeover too. Taking on Oliver's feedback, it's no longer meat-heavy with more appropriate light lunch dishes.
The guys are just cleaning down after lunch service, and then we are having a bit of a cook-off of some of the new dishes for the lunch menu. So we're going to bring out some of the dishes for everyone to try. I'm going to photograph them as well for website, social media. So this is soup and small salad.
The avocado, the eggs are in, and we'll go with the house salad, yeah?
Oh, that looks good.
The menu is good and it's different. Should be fun, I think.
That's really lovely. I'm happy with that.
It's more lighter, a bit more healthier as well, so.
Here we have the Devon plate. It's looking very, very nice, actually.
In just a few days' time, the Oddfellows will launch its new lunchtime menu. And this is an ideal opportunity for the staff to taste some of the new, simpler dishes.
So yeah, eat. Try it.
I hope you're hungry. Do you like the platter? I think it looks lovely, doesn't it?
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely. Really good.
If this doesn't work, we're going to close for lunch forever.
Amazing.
I think this is our best shot at getting it right. I'm happy with the menu. I'm happy with the deals that we've got going on. You know, the place is looking lovely. And if they don't want to come now, they're never going to want to come.
Just a couple of months ago, I was called to help the Oddfellows, an independent gastropub in Exeter. An uninspiring lunchtime trade was leaving owners Ivan and Faye battling sliding profits.
Do you think we'd given up a bit? Do you think we had kind of given up a little bit?
No, never.
No, I mean on weekday lunches.
Never!
Never give up! Never!
There you go.
So, yes?
Yeah, just use that.
But today could be the start of a midday revival as the Oddfellows launches a new lighter lunch menu, simpler to prepare and quicker to serve.
I'm quite nervous today. I just want everything to work.
Inspired by knowing they could potentially engage with hundreds of office workers right on their doorstep, Yvonne and Faye have been working with Oliver to develop an appropriate menu.
We have been working and adapting recipes to make sure that we can serve business people quickly so they can get back to work.
And taking great advice from Jessie at the parlour, they're trying new ways of reaching out to entice local businesses.
The system's in place to receive the pre-order. So we went round to the offices, they had the menu, which has the email address on there. They say what time they want the table, how many people. They can also put all their dietary requirements on there and make it quite simple.
I think today is our chance to find out from Faye and Yvonne whether they've got the junk in the trunk to kind of push this business forward. If they can make the lunches work, that we will find out.
Have they done enough for today would be my question.
Look, and this looks really nice, doesn't it?
Nice menu box. Straight away, it's encouraging to see the new menu on display to entice passers-by.
I like the new craft paper. That all feels so much better. Well, I think the menu sounds really good, you know.
Along with the new menu box, a subtle makeover now helps establish this being a restaurant as well as a pub. Simple yet clever window graphics set a theme while catching the eye. New stylish lights and a fresh splash of colour help smarten up the exterior. While inside, some quirky touches help reinforce the Oddfellows' identity.
Hello.
Wow, hi, darling. Nice to see you.
How are you doing?
It looks great from outside.
Hi, how are you?
It does.
We've concentrated our fire on the front, but I think it works.
Yeah, it does. I think the front looks a lot better. It really does.
Good, I'm glad. And what else have you been up to?
Gosh, what have we been doing? We've been
New website.
Fiddling with websites. We've been pounding the streets, talking to local businesses.
So we've done a new lunch menu, evening menu, so we've been running that.
It looked very nice.
Yes, the fact now that there's a much more diverse selection, they're much more appealing to a broader base. I think that's going to make a real difference in the long term.
OK, let's get on with it then.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Right.
Roll on.
It already sounds like Yvonne and Faye have new fire in their bellies. So let's hope their modest new menu will now help spark a regular lunch trade.
So £10 plus a drink, that must put a lot of pressure on your margins.
It does, but it's not too bad. It's, you know, it's tight, but I think it's all about volume and reintroducing people back into the Oddfellows, so it's a sweet deal.
Faye and Yvonne seem really on it today, and I really want this to work for them. I want them to see a way forward, because you know there's nothing more pressing than being open and there not being enough people in your restaurant.
Hello. Hello. How are you doing? Good. Welcome to the Oddfellows for lunch.
Thank you.
How's it going?
I think today is a super important test because to make lunchtime work, you have to be here. If you're not here, it's not going to work. These people want to see the owners. It's a local restaurant. You cannot be absent.
The test today will be to see if the lunch customers think the new menu is appropriate. More importantly, can the dishes be prepared and served efficiently to cater for an hour's lunch break?
We have worked hard to get to this day. It's kind of, I think we had certainly sat on our laurels a little bit when it came to lunch service, and I am feeling re-energised and more engaged with our lunch offering and pushing it forward. So it's going to be really nice. I just really hope it goes well today. If it doesn't, you can find me in the toilet crying somewhere.
And I think I'll go for the fish and chips, please.
Mark, we're all ready to go on this.
Come on, I'll pop you. You're in the snug, you guys, I believe.
So just to make sure that we are actually getting the tables in there as quickly as possible, I'm going to keep an eye on the timings.
So I've got the salad that no goat cheese but salmon instead. There you go. There you go. And the salad as it comes.
I think today we've got it right, and I think, yeah, it will speed up service.
Pre-order definitely seems to have worked so far. The first table in have already got their food. Now, that is speedy and efficient service. Check.
The new pre-order system is proving so effective, its coordination may need a minor adjustment.
What I've noticed first off is that the food's come out so quickly that the drinks are coming afterwards. We're something that we need to sort out. Love it.
It feels like people are engaged in the business. The last time I came here, I just didn't think anybody was interested.
Both the same?
Yeah, both medium rare.
When Oliver and I arrived 2 months ago, it appeared Ivan and Faye had lost the drive to survive, facing intense competition and dismal lunchtime trading.
Resting those steaks now, yeah?
Spread out that beetroot on that bun. You need to make sure the courgette gets spread out as well, Millie.
But now their passion has been refueled, and the slow lunch service is a thing of the past, with a new menu and owners in control leading their business from the front.
I've asked Phil to print some menus. Can you go and chase them up for me, please?
The food has improved. I think the service has improved as well. It's just a much friendlier environment all round.
We had an hour lunch break. Obviously ordered pre-turning up, so yeah, it comfortably fit in that hour slot.
Lunch was absolutely amazing and it was so quick. Like pre-ordering is definitely the way to go, I must say.
We literally sat down and it was there.
We carry on the way we're going, we'll have some good lunch times.
As well as enticing the local office workers with a new lighter menu, the big test was being able to turn orders around within an hour's lunch break.
The first thing to say, I think, is that lunch was incredibly efficient. The average time it took for food to arrive at the table was 17 minutes. Everyone was out of here within an hour.
From a financial perspective, what is the future for lunch?
We will continue on this path, really promoting hard with lunchtime.
The key here is to understand the competition, the environment, and what you need to do to continue to succeed in it.
I do think you're right, I really do. Yeah, I agree.
Someone thinks you're right, darling. It's exciting. Let's celebrate this moment.
So you should listen.
Well, hopefully, we've done some good here. I definitely think Faye and Ivan are more clear about what they have to do. They cannot afford to take their foot off the pedal.
I really believe it's in their own hands. This is a good location with good people. They are great with customers. They want to be successful. So, yeah, good.